Good morning from Laos here in Vientiane at my home. Let's see, get this day started. I don't know if Lake Gao and Sao King are going to join me today. I messaged her last night. We'll see. But as far as everybody else goes, we'll wait. It's only 2 minutes after 6. So the first 10, 15 minutes of the stream, we'll be waiting for everybody to come in, say hello to everybody, and then we'll jump into whatever questions you have. For now, hello, welcome. First person's joined. Let's see, is that Raquel or who has joined today? Says I'm streaming, so I trust that I'm live right now. This is only my second live. I think I've got the sound issue all solved. Should I try a background? What do you guys think? I kind of don't like the background because when you move around then it gets all like weird and fuzzy. But I don't know. It probably won't improve my quality, will it? I would like better video quality than this though. As far as the sound goes, how's it? Is it much better than yesterday or last time? I'm pretty sure it's a lot better. I checked the mic and everything, and I think we're sorted. Like, yo, ma. มาขึ้นเวทีเด้อ กำลังว่าวอยู่ผู้เดียว It's really weird. It's very strange just talking by yourself. So let's see if Like Gao is ready to or wants to join on the stage with me here. Oh, well, she can't really join unless I put the link here, can she? All right. Awesome. Let's see if she's going to join. We are not in a rush. So, what's up, Joe? How you doing, my man? Where are you listening from? Oh, Raquel has joined. I'm not all alone on the stage now.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you doing this morning?
I'm sleepy. I woke up at midnight.
Oh no.
Pretty sure I'm going back to sleep after this.
That's my plan. That's my plan. I can't sleep these days, but it's been like this every time I get into what I say, like start thinking about this stuff all the time, and it's like hard to sleep because I feel like all the creative juice is just flowing, and I have so many things that I want to do. Like it's just not allowing me to really sleep until like 3 days of not sleeping well, and then I'll sleep one night of like really long.
Oh no, you don't
I
want
just
to
have
do that.
I'm trying. It's just there's so much to do. Like it's just my mind won't let me sleep. It's like we got to do this, we got to do that. We got so much to accomplish. Last night I was really trying to get out these videos so that I could talk about talk a little bit about Patreon because I haven't since I started. I haven't put much on Patreon, done much on Patreon, but going forward, I am going to be dedicated to the Patreon so that we can create a community for Lao lovers on Patreon. And I gave a little details in my video in the comments about what I want to do on Patreon, why Patreon, and so forth. But I said in that comment that I would be explaining in more details this morning about the Patreon. So you're familiar with Patreon and do you use Patreon as well?
I'm not.
Like, yeah.
I'm not.
You're not.
Mm-mm.
Okay. For me, I feel like it is going to give us a space, a free space for me to post anything and everything.
Mm-hmm.
So what I mean by that is that first of all, I I have students, so children that still watch my channel.
Mm-hmm.
So I want my channel to be family friendly. I don't
Oh, okay.
right. I want it to be family friendly. I want it to I put things on there, not worry about my students that watch it and be like, am I being a good example leader for these kids type of feeling. And it also serves as a safe space, a free space where I can post anything, and I don't have to worry about YouTube copywriting me, or for music that's in the background that I didn't even add, copywriting me, demonetizing a video, giving me a strike for something that they may or may not like. You're on YouTube, they have their own wacky rules that they can decide whether to push you in the algorithm, or they can not promote your video in the algorithm at all. Or if you, depending on what you post, they push your video down a weird algorithm path, and yeah, I want to avoid all those things. So for for the Patreon, uh, I will be posting all those sensitive topics. Anything that may be a bit more personal, things like dating that I don't want videos like that on my channel. Nightlife videos I don't really want on my YouTube channel, because I feel like those type of things attract the unsavory type of characters that like to come out to this side of the world. And
Okay.
I don't
Now
really
I
want
understand.
I don't want my videos pushed towards like these type of people. You know what I mean?
Okay, now I understand. I'm like, why? Like, why would you want to do so many things? Okay.
I'd rather have it all in one place. It makes life a lot
Mm,
easier. It really would make life a lot easier. But YouTube, it does have its limitations. Like, yeah, I don't want to affect the YouTube algorithm, affect the channel at all. I want it to show Lao and in a positive light to the world, promote Lao to the world in a positive way that's family friendly. I'll still have stuff like the New Year celebration where people are partying, drinking, and stuff like that. But more of like sensitive topics and more adult topics,
mm,
as well as just like early releases I could put on there on Patreon, unreleased footage, full length videos, which is going to be like our cooking videos because they're really long. They're like
mm-hmm,
over an hour long. So I wanted to make it like a more consumable size for the general audience, like 30 minutes, probably 35 minutes max for the cooking
mm-hmm,
video. And then for those that really want to sit in with the conversation during the meal, and which is usually the longer portion that I cut out, I'll put the full length video on Patreon. So a lot of that too is also in Lao. So I feel like the real fans, the real Lao lovers out there would appreciate watching the whole thing, and those that are still waiting for subtitles, you know, I can put those subtitles on a later date, and then maybe we can show those. You know what I mean? But for now, I'm excited. I'm really excited to start making a Patreon into a full on community for us.
mm. Yeah, and seems like you have more time now to work on, those type of things.
Well, I do because of
Joe,
you.
listening from Virginia.
I do because of
Welcome.
you.
Mhm.
You and South King that convinced me to not do to well, not really. We both were talking about it, but you really encouraged me that I could do this full time, go all in on it, and I am. I'm spending every waking moment. Besides going to the gym and eating, actually, even when I'm eating, I'm working on this stuff. So I'm going
Yeah, unless
to.
you're doing something that you absolutely enjoyed and love doing that, then yeah, that's fine. But It
Right.
seemed like you're not the type of guy that want to be in the classroom.
Yeah, I've done it for a long time, and I think I'm just ready to move into my next stage of my life, into my
Mm-hmm.
career. Um, yeah, and I really, this is something I just absolutely love doing. I'm enjoyed the teaching, but I absolutely love making these videos, and so yeah, the Patreon also is a way for uh, me to get paid for the work I do. I'm working like crazy, and we could be doing even more if a couple, people subscribe to the Patreon, we get a couple dollars rolling in. I can get a
Mm-hmm.
new computer rather than use this 2015 MacBook that it takes me, you know, loads and loads of wait time for everything to process. Like if I film something today, like depending on how the computer is with processing everything, I could be waiting for it to finish till tomorrow evening or the next morning. Like I put it through different processes, like compress it to edit,
Mm-hmm.
then it has to process as it exports from the editing software. And every time there's a process, because my computer is so old, I have to shut down every other program. I can't do anything else and just let
Mm-hmm.
it process. And then sometimes I come back because I'm trying to plan my day accordingly, right? I'm like, okay,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta wait for processing. It's just another wait. So let me go to the gym or let me go to sleep and let me grab some food, whatever, and then I come back and for whatever reason it's not finished processing. So then I gotta wait again. And so yeah, let's try to get this community going, get a couple of dollars rolling in so I can get a new computer and a mic and just put everything into making this more improved content, more interesting content. Just do all the stuff that we're enjoying doing. I'm enjoying doing it and enjoying making the videos for everybody to watch.
So it's not the internet that slow
No,
down
it's
the.
not.
Oh.
No, it's my computer. Like it's
Mm.
just old. It's a 2015 on its last leg. I'm pretty impressed with what I've been able to accomplish with this ancient computer.
Yeah, right. And with the weather too, with the humidity.
Right. Yeah, the humidity. I worry about it all the time. It definitely took a it definitely took a hit last year. I noticed when the humidity got bad, all of a sudden it was like got a little older during that time. It was a little slower, but it's all good. We'll still keep producing, and then you know I'm just gonna keep working hard as the views come in, whatever money if money starts coming in from YouTube down the road, but whatever money I make is going to doing this because I look, guys, I'm not sleeping because I'm so happy doing this. It's not because I don't want to sleep, but it's because I'm so excited to make this stuff. It really is like exactly what I want to do with my time. So we've got a lot of stuff planned going forward. A lot of stuff planned going forward. How
Mai
about
Tai, what
you?
do you think? Mai Tai is quiet today.
Everybody's sleepy. It's a Tuesday morning, start of the week. Virginia, sweet man. Joe was listening from Virginia. I really like seeing where everybody's watching from. It's really interesting to see where everybody's at out there. Yeah, Gal, lately, what have you been working on for your channel?
You know what? My channel is not my priority. I only do it when it's come to me.
There's no shortage of opportunities to film something. I feel like there's every day I'm like, oh, I could do something about this, do something about that. But yeah.
I want to do a lot with it, but
Uh-huh.
then it's hard to do it alone.
Right.
Need
Right.
assistant.
You do. You do. If you really want to get ahead, like you got to build yourself a little team, somebody that
Yeah.
probably somebody that can kind of get the feel of how you edit. So maybe
Mm-hmm.
potentially could do some video editing, somebody to do subtitles. You need somebody to do all the social media part, like posting shorts and Facebook video and this, that, and the other, so you can get traction from different platforms. But it's so much. Like I
And
can
it's
barely
more
keep up.
and it's more fun to like have someone to go here and there with, instead of go by myself and talking to myself.
That's actually like what prevented me a little bit with filming a lot this last year. There was a lot of things that I was like, oh, let me go film that, and a lot of times I'd be like, yeah, but I'm not gonna feel like a vibe just doing it all by myself. Like it's more fun shared with somebody,
Mm-hmm.
share it
Like
with a friend.
if you go have someone to go with, and at least you can talk about it or talk to each other.
Right.
Like a
Like, so I guess I gotta pretend like I've got somebody. My friends are with me on camera. Like
Mhm.
I try to imagine that's what I'm doing. I'm just with my friend if I'm filming, just talking to my friend. But yeah, it's like the show with Danoi is just so easy. You have somebody else to talk with back and forth rather
Mhm.
than all by yourself. Plus,
So
especially
yeah,
like
it's like I
certain.
have a list. I'm almost like
Mhm.
you. Like I have a list of things that I want to do that I can do that it would be awesome to do, but then it's like,
Right.
oh, doing that alone is just not so much fun.
Mark
Like
my.
first simple thing I want to do is like go to coffee shop or run through all the coffee shop in Takak,
Uh-huh.
and like have a list of, okay, this is how many coffee shop right now in Takak that is
Hmm.
open, you know, and
Yeah.
then go through all the supermarkets, like letting people know how many supermarket we have in Takak, stuff like that.
Hmm.
Like I have tons of stuff that I want to do, and then I feel bored doing it alone.
Right. Because like that's the other thing. It's almost like you want to do those things, but you think about it and you're like, I wouldn't do this normally. You know what I mean? It's not something that you'd be like, well, let me go film the supermarket. That's interesting. You know what I
Mhm.
mean? So you almost have to have somebody along
It's
for.
more
I know
fun.
back home, like I'd still watch these type of videos just to see what the supermarket was like in another country. But yeah, even thinking about it right now, like if I was to try to go film the supermarket, I would be like, and here's the bread, and here's the milk section. Like, what are you, the dairy section? So Mai Tai says Mark Williams did his own editing for a long time. Yeah, to me that's like really the most important thing for me. So it might not be one of the first things that down the road that I have somebody help me with, because I think the editing is really where you show your personality. Like that's where like your personality comes out in your editing. It's you on camera, but then also like you choosing how the flow is going to be, and yeah, how everything's going to be presented. So it's important to me that I do that for, yeah, I even into the foreseeable future. Like I don't know if I could trust somebody to see things how I see it. Like especially with the languages, like how are they going to know when to edit unless they're like extremely fluent in both languages as well? Uh, yeah, that's okay. I'd rather do the editing and then just kind of like pass on the edited YouTube finished product and then be like, okay, here, now can you please help me cut this into shorts and post it on and post it on Facebook and do the social media stuff, like all the what do you want to call it, like the admin type of work, the work on the back end, just like writing descriptions, post this, post that. I'd love if I could just go film and edit the videos. That's the fun. That's the most fun part.
So it seems like people like it, huh? Your Seems like your followers like the cooking class.
I think they do. Like it was quite shocking. I posted the second episode,
Mm-hmm.
and it like nearly caught up with the first episode in like the you know the first half a day. It was I was wondering like which one was gonna break 1,000 first. I just posted a
Mm-hmm.
second, and it caught up to the first so fast. But
Yeah, and
yeah,
it's long too. It's not like, fast 8 or 15 minute kind of
it's
thing
very
where you just speed up to the end of what happened.
right. It's quite long. I'm looking at the YouTube analytics. I don't know about this morning. It might change like when it might change a little bit, but it's saying it's long, but people don't. Unfortunately, you get to see how long people watch your videos, and if there's a 47-minute video and people only watch 5, 7 minutes or something like that, it's not great. It still gives me a view, right? That's the weird part. Like,
Mhm.
oh, somebody viewed it, but if they viewed it for only a couple minutes, I don't know if the video is that great. But it doesn't make sense if it's getting to that many people, that many views, but people are only watching 5, 6 minutes. You figure out something.
Yeah, they could be just like clicking through and then it's like, oh, this is not something that I'm into, and they just
Yeah.
move on to the next one.
Which, yeah, I'm like, if like really, if people are only watching 5 minutes, that's kind of concerning to me because I understand like it's the thumbnail and the video itself is probably going to get a lot of clicks, but literally, like 1,000 people are just like, "Oh, Lao food," click, 5 minutes, like, no, okay, that was good. I watched enough. Like, I know that a lot of people love to watch about Lao food, but yeah, 5 minutes. We need to get people watching the whole thing. So we'll see. We'll see how it goes if I end up cutting the video down to a 35 minute segment and then do the full length video on the Patreon. We'll see how people like that. That's hard. I really like the flow of the long form videos. It's just natural. I don't have to worry about like anything like the conversation flowing. It's simple editing.
What about the latest one, your latest video? You went to Beverly's house farm.
Mm.
Is that recently? Is that or something
Right.
from a while ago?
So a lot of people do get things a little bit confused of like like well you just did this or this is the wrong time of year, and I try to put in the description like when it happened so it's not confusing.
Mm-hmm.
But most of this stuff obviously is from most of the videos are from this past year, and
Mm-hmm.
then this one actually was just from the end of January. I went
Mm-hmm.
over to her house because she moved here like about January of last year, and she's already got a full on home, two separate little homes on the property and a farm, all running, all done. It's pretty impressive how quick they got everything going there. So went over
Oh,
there.
so when she appears on Tad's channel, she would just be sitting then?
Right, right, right.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, I thought she was living in Laos since then. Like, oh, she's been in Laos for a long time.
yeah. She's visited a lot, and then finally decided that she wanted to make this her home. And
Mm-hmm.
when she came last January, she I think she already had properties purchased at that time. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, I remember going to her properties, and it was just nothing there. And then, boom, out of nowhere, she got two homes on it and some cows and a whole on farm. It's so fast.
Oh yeah, building stuff here, if you have money, it can be done in months.
Right? It's kind of exciting if you're really interested in doing your own thing here in Lao. Building your own thing, getting your own
Mm-hmm.
property. The interesting part is how much she said she had to. Like I think most places when you're building a home, you kind of have to oversee a lot of it. Otherwise, people may take the lazy way on some things, but and it may be slow. But she was there throughout it, and they got it done fast for her.
Yeah, you almost you almost want to be there when they build stuff because I want to say you can't trust them because when they do things, sometimes they don't use the alignment or anything like that. They would just do it, you know?
Right. Like I think people may not really know exactly what we're meaning, but for example, when you're laying tile, she's watching them because if you're laying tile and you've seen tile in Lao, a lot of times they just throw whatever piece wherever, as long as the floor is covered in tile. There's no
Mm-hmm.
pattern or rhyme or reason to it,
Mm-hmm.
and so you got like this wonky tile floor instead of properly lined up tiles that are full tiles or cut properly. It's just like all these misshaped tiles in a lot of people's floors.
Yeah, my brother also building a house here, and he came last year to visit and to check on it. And he had while he was here, he had people do the bathroom for him, and then they went got the tile on the wall that is like pattern, where
Hmm.
you have the piece have to go certain spot, otherwise
Uh-huh.
it would just be weird, right? Because it's like small fish, big fish have to be here and stuff have to be down here and up there, but they don't see the pattern, they just put it wherever. And then he's like, no, no, look at the picture, the fish should be here and the water should be here.
Right. It's stuff like that, the details, that we appreciate back home in the US, that here it's like, let's just get this done. It's not a big
Mhm.
deal.
Yeah, because to them it's not important. Who cares that it's not level? Like,
Right, right. Yeah, that's the biggest thing is like it's not just the patterns off,
hmm
and it's that sometimes you have pieces of tile like raised up higher than others, so yeah, you could cut your toes or you know that stuff. You got to make
even
sure.
like if you go stay in the hotel, even the 5-star hotel, sometimes you see stuff like that. It's like, this is 5-star hotel. Everything should be like perfect. But
Right.
no.
Go to the five-star hotel and go to the wall and
Mhm.
look at all the corners, or look at around where you'd have what do you call it? You'd have like the bottom and the top corners.
Uh-huh.
What do you call those? Oh no, my English is, what do you call it? Not banister, but like the wood that you put on the edge of your wall at the bottom and the top.
Oh yeah, what do they call that? Oh my God.
Oh my gosh. Anyhow, anywhere you have like angles, and there's like a switch from maybe brick to paint, or anywhere there's paint, you just see paint splattered all over, even if it's five stars. Like nobody taped it off and then painted, so you didn't get the bits dirty that shouldn't be dirty. It's just paint
Mm-hmm.
splatter, overlap all over, and you're like, yeah. Just, I mean, what do? You just have to supervise, because I think people can do it fine here. There's no problem. They got the handy. They got the job down. It's just no, they're not making a whole lot, and so details is not the priority.
Mm-hmm.
Have you built anything here yet?
Well, first we replaced not from scratch,
Hmm.
because the house that we staying right now, my mom had already built it like a
Hmm.
long time ago. So we
Right.
just kind of like fixing it,
Okay.
remodel, I would want to
Nice.
say. Yeah, so I've been through stuff like that too, because recently we have people come in to do the ceiling. Um, and to put some stuff in, and so I have to like watch them closely and make sure they use the level, make sure they use the stuff like that, little things. And sometimes
Hmm.
they looked at me like, you don't think we know what we're doing? It's like, well, yeah, I know that you do build stuff, you build houses and houses, but I don't know, sometimes I don't want it like this.
Good evening, everyone from Tampa. Dr. Tampa. Good evening. Nice to have you here from Florida, Tampa.
It's like, can you tape this out first before you paint? Stuff like that. They would look at me
Exactly.
weird. It's like, why? It's wasting time.
Right. To them, I feel like it does seem almost like a waste of time, doesn't it? Just like a little paint on your bricks. Who cares? I feel like, oftentimes in the chats, people ask questions like, "What are the obstacles that you face?" I was thinking about that from our last live. Uh, in your streams and in my last stream, just a lot of the questions are like kind of people being scared of coming here. So I wanted to ask both of us, uh, off the top of your head, what things ended up being way easier here than you thought they were going to be? What things end up not being obstacles and has been pleasantly easy here?
You know what? Before we came here, I have no clue what am I going to do if I stay longer, because I don't plan to stay longer than what they given me, like 30
Uh-huh.
days,
Yeah.
right? And then
Hmm.
I was thinking, like, where do I start? Who do I go talk to let them know that I'm staying longer than what I'm supposed to? But
Right.
it ended up to be pretty easy. Just walk up to the immigration office and tell them that you want to renew your visa, and they just do it.
Or you be, a smarty pants. you you use that clever. You use your wits, and you just tell them when you come through that you're staying 90 days rather than 30, like you told us last time. I keep
Yeah.
I keep having people finding out from people that they got 90 days off the bat. I'm like, I spent money that didn't need to be spent on
See,
visas.
a lot of people say 30 days, and I'm like, why you only get 30 days? Why not get 90 days when you can get 90 days and pay the same amount of money,
Right.
right? You come in, you pay $40 for your visa, and just tell them 90 days. What if you want to stay longer?
I Yeah, and it's not just you, and it's not just a few people. I've heard this from many people, and then we start going back and forth of like, oh, is it because you're Lao American and they, want to treat you a little bit better coming back home? And I think the one common thing amongst all of the people is that they just told the immigration office when they came through that they're going to be here 90 days, and I said 30 because I thought that's how long the visa was.
Yeah,
So give it
because
a try.
it might sound weird, like if you come here for visit or as a tourist and you stay longer than a month, like, huh?
Mhm. Right.
You don't know anybody, right? You're a tourist. Yeah,
Hmm.
but you stay that long? What are you going to be doing?
And don't get too. One thing about Lao is like don't get too caught up in formalities. And what I mean by that is a lot of times as Americans we want to know the exact answer. Is it this or is it that? Can somebody just tell me exactly what it is? A lot of times there's no exact answer. Like I've had people on my videos be like, "No, it's not $30 to extend. I paid this much here and I paid this much there." It's like I have no control over these immigration offices. Like one guy said, I paid 40,000 keep in Vientiane and 650 in Savannah Kip, and I'm like, that's awesome. If it's cheaper, awesome. But I have no control. Like these offices, this is Lao. Like there's not a lot of like set in stone things in Lao. It's just at that moment, what are they gonna do?
And at first, I wasn't sure if my husband would feel comfortable staying here because he know nothing about Laos, right? He
Mhm.
doesn't speak it, and it turned out that he have no problem. I guess that's one easiest thing that I didn't think it would happen.
I like
So
that.
he go
I
to
like that.
places
Mhm.
without speaking Lao,
Right.
but he doesn't have any hard time. I don't hear him complain like, oh, I wish I speak Lao. I don't hear him complain.
Mhm.
Or them even people that that he talked to complain like, how come you don't speak Lao? But I think he should know some Laos, right?
Yeah, it's just kind of how it goes out here in Asia. Did we mention this in our last live? I feel like we talked about this a bit. But like if you go down to South America to travel or stay any period of time, it's almost expected after a certain amount of time that you will speak the language at a decent level and you will be able to communicate and everything. But for some reason, when people come to Asia, there's this vibe that you don't need to ever try to learn the language. It's just too hard. All over Asia, it's like this, and I don't really understand it. I don't get it. Like it's a language, a language. You put your effort in, you're gonna speak it, you're gonna learn it. But a lot of people don't try out here.
I think one thing that keep him from learning is because the job that he do does not
Hmm.
require him to like communicate with Laos people here. He doesn't. It's not like he go to the office or go to
Hmm.
places where he, communicate with them. He's
Hmm.
working online, and the company that he worked for, they're not here.
Right. Yeah, it's tough if you're in an English environment all day. You have to
Mhm.
really try to put yourself out there. Like for me,
Mhm.
for being a teacher for so long, that was one of the like really challenging parts. The whole reason I was overseas was because I was interested in language and culture and just being immersed in something different and learning about their history, all that stuff. But then as a teacher, you're always in an English environment, and you're just trying to facilitate this English environment, create it, and push people to use the language. And so it kind of takes you out of it takes you completely out of your being immersed in everything, and then quite challenging to then try to like dive into the languages. But so I get where he's at with that for sure. I wonder how many people haven't been that listening, but I would like to definitely say that if you haven't been, then Lao is a unique place when it comes to language, and that's because people are super helpful, super kind, and don't mind that you can't speak the language, which is not everywhere in the world. And in the States, we expect people to speak English. We expect you're going to be able to speak the language. In Vietnam and China and other countries I've been to, they, they don't waste much time with you if you're not going to try to speak the language. But in Thailand and in Laos, they love you all the same. Right. Oh, Sao Kim is here. Welcome to the show, Sao Kim.
Good morning.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Hey,
We're sleepy.
somebody's up and is letting us everybody see their face this morning. Mi sao pu
It's
nương cái
okay. I mean,
mo hai hen na.
Yeah.
Bo.
if
Like
if
I'm
I'm
not
ready,
camera ready
I'm
whatsoever.
not.
I just go off my couch and I'm like, oh my God, it's 6.
Sao
It's
King is up and showered. Lots of showers since the deep clean.
that sounds so weird.
Well, last time you showered and we never saw you, so I'm hoping you're
For like an hour.
fresh now.
Well, I mean, I do deep clean every uh Friday. So Yeah,
in the middle of the
only
night
once a
or
week. Yeah, I
what?
do
Why
it
in the
in the
middle of the
middle of the
night?
night because it's quiet and everybody just not in my way.
And on top of that, it's probably cool, huh? At nighttime, instead
Yeah,
of like
that's
trying
true.
to
Yep.
clean during the day.
I don't know about you all, but it's March 26th, and I haven't felt the intense heat yet. So we're doing pretty good.
I keep brag about the weather this year. It's like it's so nice.
I'm loving it. The
Mm-hmm.
less months of brutal heat, the better. It's always something that I, yeah, I kind of dread. You're like, it's coming, it's coming. I like the heat. That's why I'm here. I don't even have my aircon on a big part of the year, just like my tie. I like the warm, but when it gets so hot that you can run every air conditioner and every fan and nothing keeps it cool, that's too much. It's brutal. It's hard to sleep. We had that for a little bit last year, but not too long.
Mm.
So what you been up to, Ging? I haven't talked to you all day yesterday because I went to sauna. I came home and I just passed out.
Yeah, a bit busy in my part. Because Chris and I are starting the home construction, and they this week they started, and yeah, just the good thing is that because we go with the company, we don't do like a contract, like like a how you call it, private contract. So we don't have to worry about preparation too much, because if you hire a contractor to do it yourself, right? Then that means like you have to be there. You have to
Yeah, we were
to
just talking about that.
be in the process. Yeah. But hiring a company, they take care of everything, because you it's agree on the contract. So yeah, it's a bit easier process, I guess. And because um the engineer and the people, they native speaker, the English native speaker, so I don't have to explain to my husband about like what's going on. Like they can talk directly, they can communicate directly. I told
Mm,
him like this is take out a burden, a stress of me, because I don't, even I speak English, okay, but I don't know a lot of terms when it comes to the home building or house construction. There's a lot of things that I don't know, and
mm,
that's a big stress if I have to talk to, if you hire private contract, right? Like they're gonna contractor, they're gonna speak Lao. Most contractor here, they don't speak English. They probably do, but still, a lot of them don't, and I have to be the one who you know translate that to my husband, and so maybe I might not do the right job. So we so glad that we went with the company to do this. And even it's, a lot of people coming to us and like, oh, like that's expensive, this, that, right? But like, well, I mean, you don't know what comes with it.
yeah.
Because, a lot of Lao people, they would prefer to save a lot of money as much as possible if they can, if they have to build the house by themselves. But then, they have to deal with a lot of things. And yeah, I'm
So with
I'm not
that,
ready for the stress.
so with this company, that means you don't have to sit and watch everything they're doing. The company watches, make sure they're
No,
doing everything right.
they no, I can't because it's just right next to me, but usually they would take the photos of each state and send it to us. But of course, when it's going to that um, uh, complicated process, right? Like maybe by the end of the day or something like that, I would go in and also take a look. But I don't have to be obligated to like, okay, I have to go there and be there, 4 5 hours or whatever, right? Because I witnessed my brother, he built his own house. He only watched YouTube and he just built his own house, and then he hired contractors, which is like come with like 4 or 5 people, but he has to be there. He has to basically, guide them and yeah, and supervise them in a lot of things.
Mhm.
And yeah, I'm not I'm not ready for that. And yeah, and I also talked to Ikea that we, this project, I'm going to take the videos and maybe make a time lapse video or something, and also show people how to build the house here in Laos, right? Like what is the step if you hire a company? What is the step of
Mhm.
doing that, and how much it's gonna cost? Because like you hear a lot of people saying like, oh, it's cheap or whatever, right? Depends on your budget. It's not always like, oh, you can build the house with like this much. It's up to you, like what style of what is your lifestyle,
Mhm.
how modern you want your house to be, how it ups to you, your preference. And you can build that house as expensive as possible, as cheap as possible.
Right. I think that's a great video idea. I watched those videos before coming here. Like I wasn't even in the house market, but I think people enjoy. It's fun to watch, like as things are being built. So I think that'd be a
Yeah.
really interesting video for people to see, and then know what they are interested. Then they know what to expect.
Yes, yes. And I think many times when you see, especially in Laos, if you see the video about apartment or house, you see like many house that are more like Lao traditional
Hmm.
house home, right? Like the home that we build, I want to build something for me and my husband to be able to live in, and we feel comfortable. Like especially my husband, he's very particular, and he want to make him feel like his real home. So we go with a bit more like a bit. We're gonna do the loud, modern, kind of style, like hardwood mixed with the modern touch. So yeah, um, we'll show you our
What
audience
what I hit now
video when
เล่าๆบอก
finish.
แบบบ้านมีใต้ถุนบ่ได้เฮ็ดจังซั่นบ่
อ๋อมีตารางกับเจ้าห้องตารางอ่านภาษาลาวใต้ถุนเป็นภาษาไทยเนาะ
ภาษา
แม่นบ่
ไทยบ่ตะอิหยัง
อะฮะ
เนาะ
ตาราง
ตารางบ่ตารางอ๋อ
แบบว่าแบบว่าvery ว่าแบบปลุกเสาขึ้นแม่นบ่แล้วอันน่ะขึ้นคันไดไปแม่นบ่อะฮะ
Yeah,
เจ้า
yeah,
ว่า
I
แม่น
love that.
ตาราง
That's where I
แม่
learned.
น
Like I spent a lot of time, with Lao people in Isan and just Lao people here. Like you hang out in the tai, hang out under the taitun with like a hammock and what do you call
I
that? And what do you call that in Lao? I always wondered. In Thai, I think it's called a khe.
กล้องอือฮึกล้องตา
Is that
ราง usually they call like ตารางกล้องตาราง if you
กล้อง
under there you like you กล้องตาราง
กล้องตารางแม่แล้วแต่ไอ้ตัวดังตัวนอนแบบไอ้ที่เป็นไม้มันภาษาไทยก็เอิ้นแคร่ภาษาลาวเด้
โอ้ติอันน่ะ
ไอ้ตัวที่ค
เตียงไม้
นมัก
หั่นหว่าเตียง
มันเตียงไม้มันเป็นเตียงไม้แต่
เตียง
ภาษา
เตียงไม้
ลาวมันมี
เป็นเป็น เป็นไม้ไผ่ที่เขาเจ้าอั่นเฮ็ดเป็นเตียงแบบสะแหน
Ơi, bằng
สะแหนนสะแหนน
Sanan. Oh, Sanan. 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 I think in Thai it's called a crab, but I'm not sure. Maybe I'm wrong. I could be wrong. But yeah, that like wood type of bed thing,
yeah
and then everybody sits and hangs out on. You eat on it, but you
yeah
like
yeah yeah แส
take
ดง
naps. You'll see them everywhere, all over Lao. People have them on. You can have it underneath the home, or it could be on the front side of the home, or it could be. It's all over, but that's where people like will, hang out with your friends, and whatnot.
แม่น
Sanan.
ตะกี้ค่อยก็มักได้เฮือนแบบมีตารางอะนะเพราะว่าตะกี้ตอนสมัยข้อยยังน้อยเฮือนที่ว่า พี่น้องให้พ่อกับแม่ข้อยอยู่หั้นเป็นเฮือนแบบไปนอนแบบคือจะเว้าหั่นแหละมีเสาขึ้นแล้วก็มีเราต้องได้ขึ้นคันไดไปเทิงหั้นนะแล้วมันเป็นเฮือนไม้เบิดเนาะข้อยก็อยู่ซั้นข้อยก็มักอยู่ได้เอ่อ
Mắc lại.
ก็โอเคอยู่ได้ก็ดีก็งามก็คักเนาะถ้าว่าเราอาจจะเปลี่ยนตัวนั้นมาเป็นแบบ modern touch หน่อยหนึ่งเนาะก็แฮงสิคัก
Thanks. I love old style homes. I really love them, but like doesn't necessarily yeah, but not too steep of stairs. Some of those homes is just
อือฮึ
like just like 2 stairs. You just
โอ้
literally like climb up. But yeah, like stairs, and I really like the old homes. They have like the outer, like you can walk around the
อื
outside
ม
of the home,
มี
and it's
ระเบี
just
ยง
like มี
มี
ระเบียง
ระเบียง
มีระเบียงนั่นก็แม่นสไตล์ลาวแบบดั้งเดิมบ่
แม่นแม่น
อืมงาม
มี
เนาะ
ระเบียง
งาม
แบบว่าเออแบบเจ้าขึ้นไปสิเนาะเจ้าก็จะมัน is like open house มันสิเป็น open air house อะนะเนาะอันแบบสิเป็นห้องรับแขกบ่หรือว่าเป็นห้องนั่งเล่นเนาะหมายความว่าอยู่เปิดอยู่นำกันเลยอืม
My Thai,
แต่คัก
thank you for confirming. I haven't been over in this. I haven't been to Thailand or Laos since like 8-9 years. So sometimes now that I'm back, I'm like, all right, some words it's in there, but I'm not positive if I'm getting it right. Okay, is the and Sanan. Okay, every time I pass it here, I'm like, I need to know this word. I need to know this word. Taitun and Sanan. So now I know Kong Talang and Sanan.
Yeah, but Barry, there might be a different saying, right, in different part of Laos. If you go
Right.
to Luang
Yeah.
Prabang, they might call it something else. If you go to the south, they
Right.
might also call it differently. They have the term for it.
But Sanan sounds really familiar. I feel like I can't remember the Isan word for it, but Sanan feels familiar. But yeah, you're right. It's hard. Like every dialect region has its own specific vocabulary for stuff like this, right?
Mhm.
Like this thing, vegetables. There's loads of like little bits that like every place has their word for it, which is fun. As well, I don't ever get too stressed. Like, oh, actually, I had a weird comment the other day. A guy was like, "Oh, you're the guy that, he speaks Thai and is, acting like he speaks Lao," and I'm like, "What do you mean?" like, like these languages, they're like brothers and sisters, and there's so many different variations of the word for each different thing. Like you said, North has its own word to call this. South, like, I don't know. I feel like I'm trying to speak Lao. I am speaking Lao, but maybe to some it seems like I'm speaking Thai with a Lao accent. I don't know. Like, I don't know what they consider Lao and Thai. It's just a little confusing, but
Yeah, there might be a few words, right? Sometimes when you saying, I think like it's more like a Thai language term or Thai dialogue. Like when you say tip cow, right? Tip cow, you
yeah,
say something else.
right.
what did you call the cow? When you're on the video, you call in the Thai
You call it
dialogue.
you call it gatip cow, or you call it something else.
Yeah. We call dip cow. We call it dip cow หรือว่า
Tip cow.
dip cow dip cow ห
Okay.
รือว่ามีอีกอัน
She
มี
called it
อีกมี
something
อีก
different.
คำหนึ่งอีก
She called it app cow.
แอบเข้า yeah มี dip cow หรือ แอบเข้า you can use both
Okay, well, see, sometimes I don't even
she
know.
I
Like,
think yeah because the girl that what is her name I forgot her
Hanoi,
name sorry
Hanoi.
Tanoi she's a bit more from the like from her accent she's not
Hmm.
from Vientiane
Yeah, I
she's
can
from
tell.
Vientiane province in the Tangon area Vang Vieng
Mm,
area they have a bit accent
right.
she's not from Vientiane so they probably call that Ep Khao right but in
Ah,
Vientiane we also call it Ep Khao or Tip Khao we use both
dip cow. See, that's why I don't think it's like anything to stress about. There's so many different words to call
mm.
the same thing. I'm not stressed. I'm not stressed about
Yes
it. Like when she
Mhm.
said that, I was like, oh, snap. I never. That's the first time I heard "ap cow." Like I've heard "dip cow," "got dip cow." But
Mhm.
yeah, and even when we're talking, like I definitely noticed that she has an accent because I'll yeah, just you just can tell. Like, sometimes I'll she
It's
speak when she's. I wondered if she was from more up north at first because I don't know some of the tones and some of the things she says. I'm like, I thought you said you're from Vientiane. What's going on?
yeah, she's a bit north from the north, right? Because she lives in the Vientiane that accent is more
Hmm.
likely from Vientiane province, which is more like Tangon, Wang Biang, in those area.
Mm-hmm.
So because I'm Lao and I would be able to tell, right? Like what accent it's just slightly different. It's not like big different between the Vientiane accent and Vientiane province accent because there's
Right.
two Vientiane prefecture, right, and
Hmm.
Vientiane province. So it's different province. It's not in the same. People is
Yeah,
sometimes people confuse
I'm glad you said something.
about that.
I'm glad you mentioned it because I was kind of like, am I hearing her right? Because I swear she's not speaking like Vientiane accent. I mean, usually I can tell if it's like Luangprabang accent or northern accent or southern accent is so distinct you can tell. But hers is just a little different. And I'm like, I'm
Mhm.
hearing something different here, but I'm not sure. That's
Yeah.
interesting. That's very interesting. I learn new words all the time, like even like especially for vegetables and stuff. Vegetables, fruit. There's so many ways to call them. But all in all, it's just fun because
Right.
I love all the like different names for these things. You don't never know what you're going to get.
Yeah. Is it Gail back? She said like be right back.
What was the other
Do you
word that
hear
she
Gail?
did? Oh, what do you call it? You call it sakai. Sakai.
Huasikai,
Huasikai. Okay.
huasikai, lemongrass,
Huasikai. Huasikai. That's what she's calling it. Huasikai. Huasikai. Huasikai.
lemongrass.
Huasikai.
See,
Mm.
because her accent, right? She has a bit of accent, so when she call it, it's a bit come with the accent. Because when I say huasikai, but when she says she might
Huasikai.
like emphasize on the last word, right? Like huasikai because of
Kinare.
the accent.
Sausan หรือว่า saucia Kinare.
ตัวใดอ๋อหัวสีไข่
Sakai.
ป่ะซอ
Huasikai.
เสือซอเสือ
Saucia. Okay.
ซอเสื
See,
อ
and kai mi mai told you about kai.
บ่มีหัวสี
Bomi.
ไข่
Okay.
ส
Oh,
ลาย
sikai.
คอไข่ตัวคอ
Sikai. Okay. ได้ละ
See,
New
like
word.
I'm learning. I learn all the time too because my mom is from Sawanakhet and my father is from Luang Prabang. So every time that I talk to my cousin from my father's side, I would learn something new.
Mm,
If I talk to my mom, uh, families, then I hear something else, which like I don't talk to them very often, but whenever they visit or I hear my mom talk to them, then I would, sometimes I would like not recognize the word. I probably ask them that, like, what is that?
right,
Especially Luang Prabang, they have many words that they use that totally different. They call it totally different than what we call it here
right.
uh, in
Luang Prabang
Vientiane.
would they would have to have a lot of different words because they've this dialect they've got one less tone, which means you've eliminated so many words that you usually use. They got to have a bunch of new words with only the four tones instead of five. Mai Tai noticed that Lao some styles say long long nian or school and others say hong hien. Yeah, that's the one with the L or to la to ha. You just don't know.
To raw hanlin,
Yeah.
mhm,
Well, like anything that was a
which
to a law in Thai, you don't. It could be a law or ha in Lao depending on where you're at. Like in Isan, most people would say long nian. In Laos, so far, most people I've heard say hong hien.
yeah,
So
because
it's
we
interesting.
don't we don't use the raw hanlin for
Yeah.
me. If you notice, because Thai they use raw hanlin, not
Oh.
even is in the Isan area, and like the where many people live who speak Isan and mix with Thai.
Mm.
But if you Lao person, from Laos, you would not say Rong Lien. You would not say that. You just
Yeah.
always say Hong Hien. We don't
Hong
use
hien.
raw Hanlin ever, except if you have like California or like uh, the the words that you try to not pronounce. Yeah, you pronounce it into Laos, like something that use R, then you try to use Lo Long Lien, but for the uh, Lao word, for most of saying they we don't use raw hanlin ever.
Mm.
We
Yeah.
don't we don't even include that in the alphabet. Yeah,
Wait.
we just have the law. We do have, but we don't
Don't
use.
use it. I was like, wait a second. You have it, but you don't use it. uh, yeah. I
We
think
don't use
it's
the raw hanlin.
it's not too bad to hear the difference. Sometimes I don't know for sure if it's going to be a ha or a law. Like I like the word เรื่อง in ภาษา Thai เรื่อง and then in Lao is it going to be เรื่อง or เรื่อง or เครื่อง or
Lian,
which one,
lian.
but it's เรื่อง for this word,
Just
and
yeah,
some words is ha like loi or hoi. I've heard people say both. Loinen,
yeah.
hoinen,
Loi or hoi. Yeah, to ho and to lo ling, not to raw hanlin.
right.
That's why
No
if
hanlin.
you notice law hanlin, I have a problem with R because we don't use it. Like whenever you say that in English, I have a very hard time to pronounce the R word
Yeah.
because we don't when I study when I was kid, right, and studying in the middle school, high school, we don't use it. And
Mm.
it's not trained to say that that raw and lean. So I have a very hard time to say raw and lean.
No hanlin. แต่คนไทยเขาเจ้าก็บ่ได้ใช้คือกันเขาเจ้าก็เขียนแต่บ่ได้ออกเสียงตัวรตัวตัวรอดอกนอกจากว่าเป็นเป็นพิธีกรเนาะเป็นแบบนักข่าวหรือว่าแบบ ที่ต้องแบบพูดว่าวเป็นทางการเนาะ
อื
รอ
ม
เรือเนาะ
ต้องหัน
คน
หัน
คนธรรมดาก็บ่ได้ออกเสียงรอดอกก็รอมึด
อือฮึ
they yeah, it's interesting with like Thai and Lao. Love to talk about Thai and Lao, but I don't think a lot of the listeners or people that will watch this are language nerds like me. So
Yeah, it's funny when you mentioned that a lot of people when they move to Latin America or to the South America, they all, really motivated to learn Spanish. But when they
yeah.
come to South Asia, they like, okay, I can use English.
I don't know what the deal is with that. It's a very interesting. I think maybe because they go to these Spanish speaking countries, they hear a couple words that sound like English, and they're like, "Hey, this isn't so bad." And I don't know, just like the whole, yeah, obviously it's a much easier language coming from English to learn Spanish. The differences are a lot less, so it is easier. But uh, I don't know. Like if you try to use it every day, you're gonna be able to speak it no matter what language you're learning.
Or do you think that because of the people in the culture, they don't that like a lot of people they don't speak English, but in Southeast Asia, people would English is one of the popular language. People would always like want to talk to you, try to talk to you, even they not they don't learn, but they would pick up a word here and there.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not gonna say one is more accommodating than the other because I do think that the Spanish people
Mm,
were super accommodating and they would try, but they would really try to get you to speak the language with them. Whereas Lao people, they're not really. I think that they really try to speak English with you, like really try.
uh,
Lao people are super helpful in trying to get you to speak the language too. I don't know. I think a lot of
oh, and
these.
uh,
I think a lot of times people just come over here and they end up just being like immigrants that go to the U.S. and they just stay with their own group of people, and that's why they don't learn. They just hang out with foreigners. They hang out with other Westerners instead of locals.
or maybe they just try to impress the Latina girls.
I am. Plenty of guys are here trying to impress the Lao girls.
Well, I mean, I think if you ask American guys,
Yeah.
what you would you prefer? I think like more than 50% they would prefer Latinas. I do believe that too because like Latinas girl, they have that look, they have the body, they have
Yeah. They
they
do
their
definitely.
face is it's a their face is more like how you call
Not
it
not cold.
not home and they have how you call it they have the words for it like they don't they look very rare like you wouldn't find this kind of look in in many areas so you just have to go there and find them. I mean, if I'm the guy, I would say the same thing, right? I would, okay, Latina is hot.
Exotic. I think another
Exo-
word for it is exotic.
exotic. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, exotic. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, again, thank you for that. Yes, exotic look for the Latina. They have not just the look, right? Not just the face, but they do have the body. They have, like any things that guys would want.
Yeah, so you don't get sick looking at them. Because
Yeah, exactly.
some people can be pretty, right? They can be pretty, but then you get used to it and then you're like, okay, nothing
Yeah.
to look at now.
Yeah, and also I think Latina, they're very their culture is when it comes to women, they're very I'm not saying like Asian women are not that like uh how you call it, attentive or pay attention to their guys, but it seems like Latinas, they're very, I don't know how to say it, but they're very attent to the people that they try to they accommodate, right? Like they're very caring, like they affectionate. They're showing
Yeah. Yeah.
that you can see like Asian women can be shy. Like we
Right.
do
Right.
love kind of like traditional conservative kind of woman, but we deep inside us we love to take care of the people too. It's just that we don't show it. We
Right.
more like a shy kind of side.
Yeah.
Latina, they just they're there. What you see is what you get.
It is a very different culture. It's like very warm
Yeah.
and very warm and affectionate. So they have no problem with hugging, kissing, touching. Like
Mm-hmm.
whereas in Asia, they
Mm-hmm.
take care of you, but nobody's gonna be like hugging on you, kissing on you, and like it's just like bring you
Yeah.
food and take care of you. But there is like a shyness about Asian, like the culture out here for sure. A bit
Yeah.
shy,
Less affectionate.
less
Because that's
affectionate.
how we that's how we raise, like that's
Right.
we are from conservative culture, so it's totally different.
We got
Okay,
people still
so
talking about.
Adele, you're back, huh?
I'm back.
The
I just make sure that I turn off all the lights before I, went to bed and forgot about it.
So
Because
you said that you went to bed very early and you woke up at midnight.
yes.
spa wore you out.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed that Barry, you upload the new video and you
Mhm.
Bandung Punhe, right?
Yeah, Van don't put hair.
How I haven't been there. I haven't been there yet. How far is from Vientiane City?
Well, I live by Taladongchong, so it was like how many kilometers? 14, 50 kilometers. I biked over there. It's
How long
kind
did it take you?
14, 15.
of maybe an hour,
Oh, okay. Was that a
maybe
long?
45 minutes.
Was that a good bike ride for you?
Yeah, it was
An hour.
cool. Like I love a bike ride or a walk because then you get to. I really feel like it's the best way to explore. You get to see everything around you, and then you can just stop and
Mhm.
see what's going on. And on my way, I was biking, and I came across like these big mud
Mm-hmm. ovens
ovens that had smoke coming out. I'm like, what are they doing? And then yeah, just started asking them about what they're doing. They're making coal,
Oh, Tan.
yeah, Pao Tan, hit Tan Fight.
What if he said, oh, there's few dead body down there.
Good ham you
Funeral.
you nai minyan go boleh bawa mi sop go bawa mi nai.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
that's cool, like stuff like that. I love it. Walking is awesome, but it's limited. You can only go so far. So the bike is nice. I can get out with like anything within like 2 hours on a bike. I can get to and explore. So yeah, my range for exploring places that I've lived is always like really big, and I find all these little spots all around the city.
Yeah. And she got a big property, huh? That your I was
It
called
didn't. It
adopted
didn't
mom.
seem. Yeah, man.
Mm.
We
The
don't have this word in.
godmother, they call godmother.
So yeah, anybody that doesn't not familiar with that man hack or Luke hack is like, yeah, you're yeah. It's just like if back home, like if your friend's mom took you like in as like her own kid, like just like
Yeah,
somebody that loves and cares about you as your own mom, like or you're their
like
child to
God's
Luke hack.
mother.
Yeah, yeah, it could be godmother. Yeah, it could be godmother. Yeah, she's really helped me a lot here, and we
That
saw a property. It was small when I saw it. It seemed small when I saw it, but now that she's got houses on it, it seems huge.
Yeah.
Got the cows. She got like a fish pond. Yeah, it's so cool every time you see something like that because it's very self-sustainable living here. Just build yourself a little farm, and next thing you know, you don't have any expenses. You got everything right there for you.
Hmm.
Does she have any kids
Yeah.
living with her or staying with her?
No, she has kids back home, but like all
Mm.
grown. Yeah, no way living with her. Oh, let's see. I like this charcoal making. You could do a whole video on that. People still use it for cooking in Bangkok. Everybody uses it for cooking here, and Bangkok. I feel like I haven't been there in so long, but I think pretty sure it's just standard for this region for people to use charcoal. Yeah, like it's the same
Yeah.
thing as back home when people be like, it doesn't taste good if you use a gas stove. You got to use charcoal. You got to use charcoal. People say that
Mm.
same thing here all the time. Like we need to use the charcoal barbecue to make things. It tastes a lot better. It's true.
It's true. It's true. And it makes, especially when you grill something over charcoal, you know, it tastes I think like because of uh, the
The
burn
smoke.
from the wood, right? Yeah, the
Mhm.
smoke,
Yeah.
it just make that taste better. Like the
Mm.
texture, the taste come along.
ภาษาลาวเอิ้นหยัง no ไอ้ตังเอาไอ้ตาวอังโลภาษาลาว
Tàu
เต่า
lô
โล
à?
เตาโลบ่
Mhm,
Okay.
mhm.
Everybody uses those like
Mhm.
clay. What do they call them in English? It's like a clay pot. It almost looks like a clay pot for flowers, but it's a stove. You put the
Yeah.
metal the metal grill part on top, and
Mhm.
yeah, that's what you always cook with. They cook some pink pa, some pa pao. Ooh, he said no.
Tàu lô, yeah.
Actually, when I made bon pa before in the past, like we usually would grill it on the little talo to get it like you know what I mean. When you're cooking and you want to smoke something, you put it over the fire a bit, get it nice and like
Yep.
smoky, and then but she just put it in a pot and we boiled everything. So it was a little
Mhm.
different than I'd seen before.
It's actually two
Yes,
ways
you
to
just
make
want to
it.
save time.
Yeah.
Some people like it. Some people like it dry, so they grill instead of broil. So there's two type of แจ่วป่า แจ่วป่าแห้ง and
So
Mhm.
ปนป่าเป็นน้ำ
Yeah. I prefer the grill because you can taste that garlic
smoke.
and onions grill. Um, like that's more traditional, right? But Miguel
Right.
is right. There are some people they prefer just boil it together and everything. But like in Luang Prabang, I observed that like because of my uncle and my uncle, they live there, and whenever they cook olam, they would grill everything, right? But then they would put it back to the boil to the soup water when they
Hmm.
start cooking.
Why not get a little smokiness, then throw it in the water? I'm all
Yeah.
for it. I'm all for it. I like I
Hmm.
really do like to put it over the fire first, get the little smoky flavor.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm eating it either way.
It's good either way. She's a good cook. I can
She's a
tell.
very good cook. But I did forget that ponpa is like, even though it's a meal, it's still more of like a puree, more of like a salsa. I almost wanted to call it jiao. It's like almost it's a different consistency than jiao. Jiao, as it's like more
Mhm.
liquidy, like a porridge, but it's eaten like jiao, and it can't really be the main dish because, like you've seen in the video, actually, maybe we didn't see in the video, but I ate all of that in like 2 seconds, and, and I should have made some other dishes to like go with it. Should have made like maybe kuah kai or something because it's just a dip, and I'm just like picking out on this dip.
And I like how she pay attention to little things, like เอาก้างก้าง
Mhm.
น้อยๆ she didn't even miss it.
Mm.
I
ย่าง
appreciated
ปลา
that
แบบ
because some
น้อยๆเราก็เอาออกค่ะนะ I like that because some people เขาเจ้าแบบมักง่ายค่ะนะ they just throw
โอ้
everything in
มักง่าย
yes
โพดซื้อมาก็โอ้ปวดหัว
กินค่ะ
อือฮึ
กินและก้านคาคอ
มีแต่แกมีแต่แก้ก้านออกจากแขว
Yeah, and then instead of like enjoying the food, you know, enjoying the taste, you like worried about ก้างปลาสิติดคอ
โอ้ยเวลาว่าวน้ำเวลาลงกันสิแกะออกมันก็ บ่เป็นตะปึงเลย
แม่นกินปลาอยู่เมืองลาวนี่ต้องได้ระวังแน่เนาะบ่ซั้นคาคออีหลี
Oh man, sometimes it's just like you're just eating and not paying attention and right into your gums.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a what is this? Anybody help me out with this one? I don't know what that says in Gip Ali. Oh, Jep Ali, Jep Ili, Jep Ali. Okay, I was like Gip.
เจ็บอีหลี
Jep. Yeah. Yeah, I was like at first I'm like, is he drinking something like Gip ale? I've never had that kind of ale before. But could be good. But Jep Ali,
That's the
yeah.
slang, right? Yeah. When it comes to อีหลีor อาหลี it's a
Yeah.
slang to emphasize the word to you know like เจ็บ oh เจ็บ but เจ็บอีหลี is like oh that's really hurts you know
Jep Ili เหรอ Yeah, เติมเลย
เจ็บ
Jep
อีหลี
Ili เหรอ
เนาะ
ดอกกระเดี้ย เจ็บโพด Yeah, it's definitely Jep Ali, not Ali Jep. So you have the hurt and then the intensifier, whatever you want to call that word, the proper word for it. It's really hurting,
Yeah.
Jep Ali.
Yeah, I think
Sweet.
like Ali, this is probably in the other region. I think in
Mhm.
Vientiane we say เจ็บอีหลี Okay, what does Takek say?
ตะแคก
What is
ตะแคก
Takek?
อีหลี เจ็บอีหลี
Okay, okay,
ไอ้
okay,
แต่เจ้าของเฮือนข่อยก็เจ็บอาหลีเพิ่นก็แม่นไอ้
okay.
คนปากซ่องบ่ปากเซปากซ่อง
อาหลี
Yeah.
I don't really heard of anybody say Ali. Mostly Ili. Jeb Ili.
Yeah, probably from the more like a maybe deep south or the
Jeb
northern
L.
เจ็บแอล
Oh,
Ale
Jeb
Ale
L. Not
is
Ili.
Ale is ภาษาไทยก็ Ale ภาษาลาวก็ L เจ็บ L
No, my Thai เพิ่นว่า do you mean เจ็บ L? No, เจ็บอีหลี man, it's like it hurts. It really hurts. You know, it's just like a อีหลี it's a slang. Like it doesn't have
It's
the meaning, right? It
in
doesn't have
Thai
the
you say
meaning.
in Thai you say เจ็บจริงๆเจ็บจริง
Yeah,
ๆ Yeah in Lao
right,
เจ็บ
right.
เจ็บอีหลี
เจ็บอาหลี or เจ็บอีหลี Yeah.
And yeah, like I said, in this word, ale is waist in Thai, and Lao is ao. A little different. Sala egg, sala ale, sala ao. You guys can get me going on language for. I could do 2 hours just chit chatting with people about language, though. So I can't get pulled away too much on this. I love this stuff. Jet Lang.
Jeb
You know
L.
what's?
Jeb Lang.
I mean, maybe I shouldn't bring it up, but I think it's in in Lao. Do you say sanlang nyao bo? Sanlang nyao. So a long spine means you're lazy, right? Man kon kikan bo. Sanlang nyao.
นั่นแล้ว คน
I
สัน
think
หลัง
that's
ยาวเป็นคนขี้คร้าน
kon kikan. But I also heard one that in Thai is a different meaning, but in Lao, what is Oh man, should I say that? En Yao. En Yao ภาษาลาวมีบ่ En Yao สลังยาว
คนสนหลังยาวมีเนาะก็หมายความว่าคนขี้คร้าน แต่ว่าเอวยาวมีบ่เอ้ยแก้ว
En Yao
เอ
แบบ
เอ็นยาว
ข้อ
เอ็น
ข้อ
ยาว
En อันนี้
คือ
นะ
บ่ได้
En lazy I've never seen that before
ยาว
Ow Yao
I
Oh
guess I guess it's okay.
ไปอาบน้ำละบ่ไปอาบน้ำมาบ่
No,บ่ได้อาบยังคือเก่าบ่ได้อาบ but
ล้างหน้าล้าง
ๆ
Someone-
ล้าง
She's
someone
ready
com-
she's in a
someone complain. Right? Did you just complain that it's better when you talk to people to have your cameras on? So I'm like, okay, fine.
มีคนมาจมบ่
มีคนจม
ผัวจมเจ้าบ่
Man.
Is it Joe? Is it Joe
Mhm.
here? Is it him
Yeah, he just woke up.
in the no in the live comments?
No.
Because
No,
there's
no. It's
Joe from Tampa
oh different. Okay,
too bright, honey.
I was like, okay, maybe he's watching his wife.
That would be strange งามแล้วงามแล้ว
Yeah.
Well
Uh,
is it what have you been working on lately besides the house Sao King have you been working on something for the channel lately
yeah, I'm I tend to I my intention is to just upload once a week. So I hope on Thursday I'm having another video that I'm uploading. I went to this farm, the organic vegetable farm in this
Mhm.
village. So I
Mhm.
went there and like walk around the farm, walk around the garden, the vegetable uh, garden, and then I also sit down with them and talk because they're like family's friend. I was just talking to them about how they grow their vegetable, and yeah, it's an interesting conversation, and you learn something from them. You always learn something from people, right? Like when you start to
Right.
talk to them, sit down and talk.
Hot,
Um,
honey.
yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna have that video uploading on Thursday. Hopefully, it's a bit longer video. You can learn Laos from them. They actually the lady that is the owner of the farm. She speak like a Isan
Mm.
Isan Lao language, because in this village most people who living here for over 20 years, they are from Udon, or this cross border
น้องคายแม่นบ่
with Laos หนองคายอุดรแล้วก็อย่างบึงกาฬบ่ออย่างจังซี่หั้นนะแบบแถบนี้ขอนแก่นอย่างประมาณนี้นะ so they
I
would
like
speak Isan.
Isan's
You can
awesome
tell by their accent. Mhm.
but I like
Yeah, they're very
really-
funny.
I really prefer even though like my exposure like I was first introduced to Lao from like Isan people, right? Because they're like most people in Isan, they consider themselves Lao. Like they'd say like, "Wow, Pasa Lao," but they speak like that. Wow, Pasa Lao, woman, nay, some Vientiane, Pasa Lao, Pasa Lao, Pasa Lao. They speak much quicker and shorter. I really like the
Right.
Samniang Vientiane, like Vientiane
Samniang.
accent is so nice and soft and long sounds. ภาษาอีสานมัน
สำเนียง
ก็
เวียงจันทน์
โอ้ฟังบ่ทัน
Daisy แอว
เรื่อง
ยาวแม่นแล้วแอวยาวสันหลังยาว
เอวเนี่ยหัวขี้เลื่อยหัวขี้เลื่อยหัวขี้เลื่อย sawdust head I don't know if I heard that before หัวขี้เลื่อย
สำ
Yeah หัวขี้เลื่อยมันหัวบ่ดี
หัวบ่ดี
หัวขึ้นสนิมหัวเป็น
โอเค
หัวขึ้นสนิมหัวขึ้นสนิม
ขี้เลื่อยเจ้าฮู้ขี้เลื่อยบ่อัน Berry
แน่
ขี้
น
เลื่
อ
อย
น
แม่นหยังเจ้าฮู้บ่โอเค
แน่นอน
เนาะก็หัวขี้เลื่อยก็แปลว่ามันถูกซอยมาแล้วอะนะมันบ่ได้มันบ่มีหยังมันเป็นฝุ่นเป็นอันนั้น
หัวขี้เลื่อยก็ดีกว่าหัวขี้กาก
Yeah
There's so
um
many fun expressions in these languages.
yeah and I also work on some of my clients paperwork because I'm the consultant in immigration, so I do have cases coming, and actually I just got that these two cases that I know them as like more like not friends, but I know them, and they want to travel to Australia to visit um friend, and also her sister want to travel there. But when I look at their application, their documentation, for me, like I'm very honest to tell them. I'm not afraid to tell them if they would be it's high potential for them to get refused apply for a visa, right? If their circumstances is not aligned with what the immigration officer when they make decision, if they don't have that certain circumstances, then they more likely they would be refused, because I'm the former Australian immigration officer in the past, and I know when it comes to documentation, when I see it, I know right away
Right.
that who's gonna pass, who's gonna who's gonna get refused. So it's unfortunate that I have to tell them that a lot of time a lot of people come to me, and when they tell me their circumstances, and I have to be honest. I don't want them to waste their time, their money. I told them, like, if they choose to go ahead and apply, you can, but like, more likely I'm not accepting that case, because I don't want to feel bad about it. I did that in the past. That okay, I'm gonna accept your case, but I let you know that your case is more likely to be refused. But if you want to try, then we can go ahead and do it. Of course, they have to pay for the service and stuff, but like, I feel like when it comes to working with the clients who don't have the case, and they try to press it, right? They try to go ahead and apply it anyway. When they got the outcome, they're still gonna complain. They're still gonna have something to say, and I don't want to be that person that have to explain to them again, because I already let them know that they would more likely be refused. But people are always like, even they know, they still like, oh, I don't know why, like that and this, like, okay, I'm now, like, I just cut the issue, like, okay, if you
Yeah.
don't have, if I don't see you pass, get I don't see your case potentially have that um approval outcome, then I'm not gonna work on it. So just if you want to apply still, you can go to another agent. I would say like you can hire some other agent that willing to work with your case. But I just want to be honest, you know, that you're gonna just waste your time and your money. It's not cheap. Why you
Mm.
want like you have to let people know it's not a cheap process. And yeah, I think like being honest is it's the best way to go when it comes to this. And it doesn't, for me, like personally, I feel really bad when the case is not successful. Like I don't like that at all. And I personally prefer not working on it and don't have to deal with this.
Yeah, because most people would just take the case for money anyway,
Yeah.
pass or don't,
Yeah.
the agents still make money. They will just take the case. Kind of like
Yeah.
lawyer, right? It's like, okay, I know you're not going to win the case, but let's do it.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. I think like you just like it's also like you make a living of it, right? Like yeah, like if you're gonna refuse every case, like how are you gonna make money? But I mean, because I'm in the business for over a long time, over I have my reputation from the embassy, so people knows me. Most of my clients are like that I work with, they knows me, and I knows them. I know I've seen, I know their circumstances, and so it's okay for me. But for other people, I can have a sympathy on it, because if you're new, if you don't have reputation for yourself, then you have to make a living. You have to take the case, even or you don't know, then you still have to, right? And again, I think like either you take the case or not, you have to be honest to the people.
Mhm.
You can't just pretending like, oh, it's okay, just apply it. It comes down to the money. That's what people are gonna have something to say at when they when they got the refuse or rejected outcome. The only thing is the money. And yeah,
So expensive for a lot of people to try to travel overseas. Super
yeah,
expensive.
Only rich people can do
Right.
that.
Very rich.
yeah,
Be
or
very
or
rich and
yeah, you do if you have spouse, right? You have spouse, or your parents are, you have kids, or especially in Australia, when your family, like immediate family, your spouse, your children under age, and your parents of their citizen, of the permanent resident, they, even you don't have the case, even you don't, your financial is not good, you're if you're unemployed, you're like, you know have all these cases that is not strong. But Australian government, they very prioritize family. When it comes to immediate family, it doesn't matter if you don't have money, they will grant you the visa. Like
mm,
that's one thing that I liked about Australia. They don't, how you call it, they take it into consideration. They have compassion reason when it comes to immediate family. You don't need to be wealthy, you don't need to have money, but we will grant you visa. Yeah, but that's different than the US, right? If you know about the US visa, if your spouse, if your parent, you still got rejected.
mhm.
Yeah,
US is very picky.
very picky. Yeah.
So I don't know if you've heard about this place, but you're in Vientiane as well. So I wondered, there's this guy told me about like a coffee shop that's over by the river. I think it's Nam Nam, and it's like this tree house coffee shop overlooking the river. Have you ever heard of this place?
Oh, I heard about it. It's a
You
farm.
have?
It's a farm coffee, right?
I don't know if it's a farm. He
It's
just
like a
told me. I've heard
they make it
about
like
like
a
the farm.
farm.
I've heard about the farm place. I wonder if it's the same place, but the way he described it, sounded like a definite place I'd like to go make a video. You know, if it's really like a treehouse style coffee shop on the
What's the
riverside
name?
where you
What's the
overlook
name
it.
of
I don't know.
farm?
I just thought of it, and because Sao King said she went to film her video, like and stuff, and I was like, Sao King, we should go to this coffee shop.
Well, we can. I've seen it. I've seen it. This Lao guy, he's from Seattle. He's also a
Mhm.
YouTuber, and I think he visited Laos like a few months ago, and he went there.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but I couldn't recall the name. I can't recall.
I know which one you're
Gee,
talking
Oh, just
about.
go back to his channel and look at the video again. Watch
And
the video again.
look at the video.
Well, I
Watch
know the one.
video again.
I know the one you're talking about. It's because I thought about riding my bike out there just to do a video, and it's where is it? I have it saved on my maps somewhere. But yeah, is that it? No, where is it? This one? But it's like a farm. Oh, Wealth Coffee. But they made like their shop. They sell the beans. They have coffee, but they have like a farm. I guess with like a trail that you can go wander around to the jungle. I
That's
guess
so
I don't know.
interesting.
Yeah.
Mm.
But I don't think it's the same place as the one I'm talking about. I think this is different. This one's supposedly like a tree house built on the side of the river, so you're just overlooking the river with your coffee in a really cool tree house.
Oh, well, find out, Barry. With the
find
guests
out.
here, we all can go.
I'm gonna find out.
Yeah, go back to
Yeah.
the same guy
But
that told you about it. Like, what is the
Oh,
name?
I'm gonna message him. Yeah, I'll message him. He'll answer me. It sounded so cool. It sounded really cool. Something unique. You know, a lot of times people I get from a lot of people out here. Maybe we'll skip what I was gonna say
Oh,
and
boy.
put this up here. Hi guys,
Yeah,
Barry. I need
yeah,
your
boy.
permission to call you the old soul.
I boy, somebody, I boy.
Oh, เจ้าหู้จักคนนี้บ่
Yeah,
ชื่อหยังเนาะ
Yeah,
boy.
si boy.
Oh, I boy. Okay,
He's
I
a
guess.
chef.
Boy.
Boy.
สระโอยบอ boy.
Oh, boy.
Mm.
Okay.
บอโอย boy.
Boy. Nice to meet you. Am I an old soul? I don't know. I guess that maybe I just look too young for my age.
He said, I think like on our live stream, like yeah, he said that Barry the last life that
Oh, he must be Laos.
he
คนลาว
yeah, he
ประชากร
must be like
That's why people ask
Love
me all
it.
the time.
แล้วเป็นคนลาวชาติแล้วนี่
สาลาวกับแมนคนลาวก็เคยบอกอยู่บ้านเฮาแบบคนไทยคนอีสานก็มักหยอกคอยว่าคอยเกิดอยู่กลางทุ่งนาแล้วพอมีฝรั่ง2คนมาเที่ยวมาเจอคอยอยู่กลางทุ่งนาอีโตนเราเก็บมาเลี้ยงก็มักหยอกจังซี่ค่อยกัน
แต่ว่าเบอร์รี่นี่ฉันเราไปบอนอื่นหั่นน่ะแก้วเราสิแบลนด์กับ culture อื่นได้สบายเลยเด้ แบบหน้าตาคือเราฉันเราไปเซาท์อเมริกาน่ะเราก็สิเป็นคนเซาท์อเมริเป็นลาตินเนาะเป็นลาติโนฉันเราไปยุโรปเราก็สิเป็นคนยุโรปแบบว่าแบบเฮาสิเบิ่งบ่ออกหันนะว่าเราเป็นคนมาจากอเมริกาแท้แก้วว่าบ่
Man.
เนาะ
Because you look mixed in a lot of ways. Like you don't look like just white, you know. You
You're
can
at,
have
you,
like some Asian in you, like a quarter of Asian and a little bit of this, a little bit of that.
Nalo, watching Sunday. Nalo.
You can blend in easily in any culture that you travel to. I
Pretty much.
say
I mean,
that.
everywhere I go, people think I'm not from the U.S. People like to think I'm Russian, mixed with Russian, or
Mm.
like you said, I go to Latin America or back home, people would think I'm mixed with Latino or something. It's
Uh,
just so random. I'm like such a white
which
Scot.
is a good thing. You just blend in.
Just blend in. And do you have this word in Lao? Because in Thai you say nalo,
Nah, low.
nalo. Yeah, nalo.
สัก
Okay,
กะโล
ภาษาลาว nalo.
เป็นอย่างจะว่าหน้าโหล
Well, I used to have friends tease me about that because people would always think I'm something that I'm not. I'm not, that I'm not American. They'd be like, "Yeah, it's because you're not nalo." Like
กิ้ง
nalo
บ่
in
เข้าใจ
English.
วะ
How
กิ้งบ่เข้าใจหน้าโล
เข้า
บ่
ใจ
อ๋อ
ความหมายว่าฉันเป็นหน้าโหลหน้าโหลสำหรับน้องนี่เป็นหน้าที่ว่าแบบเป็นห
ห
น้า
น้า
ธ
โล
รรม
นี่
ดา
หน้า
ที่
คื
ว่า
อ
แบบหน้าทั่วไป
หน้า
Yeah,
บ่แม่
that's
น
what
เด้
they're.
ค่ะ
Yeah,
คำว่าหน้าโล
หน้าทั่
นี่
วไป
คือหน้าทั่วไปเนาะแม่นไผก็คือเบิด
yeah.
แบบหน้าโล
อ๋อโอเค
บ่มีอันนั้นเป็นตัวเองหั้นนะ
บ่มีเอกลักษณ์
บ่
ของตัวเอง
มี
แบบ
เอ
หน้าก
ลักษณ์
ทั่วๆไป
แต่ว่า no Berry บ่แม่นคนหน้าโล
เป็นคนหน้าโล
บ่แม่นบ่แม่นแปลว่าเป็น
Well,
เพราะว่าฉันว่าหน้าโหลมันคือแบบว่าเป็นอะไรวะ แต่ว่า
I
แต่ว่าหน้าเบลลี่เห็นแบบหน้าแบบว่าเป็นสิ่งที่ดีสำหรับเฮาหั่นน่ะเป็น positive เนาะเพราะว่าฉันจะไปบ่อนอื่นสินะเจ้าสิแบบเป็นคนของเจ้าเลยแบบคนกับเจ้าสิบ่ฮู้ว่าเจ้าเป็นเจ้ามาบ่อนใด
right.
เออ
I really don't know. Maybe it's just I don't know. I don't want to toot my own horn or anything. People usually just say that uh, wherever I go, like they just feel familiar with me. So maybe it's just the vibe I give off and makes my parents feel like I'm one of everybody. I'm one of whoever I'm with. I'm just one of the group. But yeah, people usually say that they just feel like familiar with me very quickly. Like they know me for a while. Like maybe I have a common face, or maybe I just fit in wherever I go.
I think one of our friends is leaving us, taking kids to
Joe,
bed.
you're the man. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you, Joe.
My Thai is still here, right? My Thai, he's such a big fan of you, Barry. He's like a big brother to you.
Mike Ty's the man. He's been watching all the videos, commenting.
Yeah.
Hey, I think Mai Tai is also a language nerd like myself, but correct me if I'm wrong. He seems to really be fascinated with this stuff, the culture, language, things out here, and so, hey, I'm glad to have him. I always like talking about the differences in the languages and the cultural differences and all the history, all that stuff.
Yeah.
How have you guys?
Have you been
when
to? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
somebody says called the Treehouse Cafe. You know the Treehouse Cafe? Well, let me look up on my maps and see if that's what it is. The Treehouse Cafe.
I mean, that should be the name of it, right? If it's the Treehouse coffee shop, and yeah, it should be just Treehouse Cafe instead of try to name it something else.
We're not getting anything pulling up on the map here. That doesn't mean it doesn't exist here now. Map. But I'm getting something in Sukhumvit near you, my time.
Oh, maybe Facebook. Usually they just put their business on Facebook.
Right.
The Treehouse Cafe.
Treehouse
Right. Sometimes I feel like I get better results searching Facebook in Lao than I do Google. Like Google doesn't have anything
they
in
do
Lao.
post everything. Yeah, see, they do have the treehouse coffee.
Oh yeah.
Mm.
No, I'm.
Does it look like this? Okay, I'm gonna send you the link on the private chat, and you can see it's on Facebook. But is it looking like this one?
Yeah, I've never seen.
Doesn't seem
I,
like that.
I was just told about it and it sounded really cool. Mm, no, that just looks like a normal cafe.
So maybe it's good time to talk about like the gal. She's coming to Vientiane on, I think, like 11 or 10 ago.
Yeah, around
not
there, like a
not
week,
sure yet.
first week of
Uh-huh.
April.
Okay, so we should get together. Um, I'm not sure we can, if we want to do live stream together, but we probably have to not do it in a very early time, but later of the day, or and then we can kind of like rent a co-working space for the live stream. I'm not sure. I'm just putting out the idea there. What do you guys think? I don't know.
Yeah, sounds good to me.
But not
Gotta
sure. Like again, it's gonna be in Lao New Year time, so I'm not sure like things gonna open for us.
No, it will be before. It will be before that. It must be like on the 9th or on the 10th.
Let's
Okay.
see. Yeah. Okay.
I
Perfect.
can
So I'll
I
plan the
can check
9th.
for
Like
sure.
Gal is taking us for a big party out on the night. I'm gonna say right now
Yeah. What is?
before anybody else says that uh xin đạt bỏ ảo chim chùm bỏ ảo ไปกินยังก็ได้bỏ ảo xin đạt I have to put it out there. I let everybody know my it's not my dislike. I think it's good, but it's just what everybody loves here, In Thailand, mokata, and here
I feel like
sindat.
it's too hot. I feel like it's
It's
just
so
hot.
hot.
You're sitting in front of the
Sit
stove.
in front of the grill, like right in your face, and just blow the smoke and blow the smoke and steam right in your face. It's
On
so
top of
hot.
that, I don't like eating meat that are not marinated. Like,
Right.
it's bland. I don't taste anything, although they have sauce that come with it, but then sauce is on the side, it's not in the meat. So the meat itself is like plain, bland,
Very plain.
no taste.
And then the sauce becomes like it's like not even really a sauce because you don't really dip your meat in there. You just cover your meat in it because it has no flavor otherwise. It's like a soup almost. Because a lot of people, what you have your jiao tale กับผสมกับอีกตัวนึงเนาะอีกอันนึงมันแม่นเจ้าเนี่ย the orange one. And then you have
Jasuki.
Xiaosuki, man. Yeah. And then you just put all the meat in a bowl full of sauce and let it sit there. Yeah, I don't like
Well, I
it. I
mean,
don't know.
it's good
It's
for.
more the American style though. It's like my feeling is if I'm paying for the meal, I want the food brought to me ready to eat. I don't want to sit and cook it and sweat.
Well, it's good for socializing
It
with
is.
your friends, and also if it's a bit chill, if the weather it's not that hot, then yeah, it's fine, right? Like it's
Mm,
a good dish to share because everybody's sitting and like kind of have a part in
right.
the cooking, basically.
It's true.
But yeah, like but right now it's hot, so yeah, not a dish for this weather.
I feel
Unless
like
you
anytime
really like it.
anytime me sao lao แบบสึกไปกินอย่างแบบ man สิ้นดาด ก๋วย
Seen
เตี๋ยว
that.
it's like there's so many good things but like the only things I don't really eat much obviously like during the winter I eat soups like ก๋วยเตี๋ยว and stuff but as soon as it starts getting warm I don't hardly ever eat like bami ก๋วยเตี๋ยว any kind of soups it's already hot it's already
I
too
like
hot
jum.
Well, that
I rather do jum. มันมาในถ้วยหินนะ เห็นบ่มัน
Mm.
หม้อหินหั้นนะ I like that I'm okay with that
Well, that
Mhm.
I mean that would be different. I understand, you know, from someone from the West, and you only eat the hot dish in the cold season, but you know, here in Laos, people eat khao piak for
year
24/7.
round year round
Like
all
more,
day
yeah, year round, morning, afternoon, evening. You know, this
Mm.
the hot soup dish is like, it doesn't matter, and it's really spicy, right? Like most people, they fix it to the certain spice, and even they eating and they dripping, sweating. That's still good.
What's mohin? I don't know if I know this one. Mohin.
เขาก็เอิ้นว่าจุ่มหั่นแหละอันโต
Oh, Jim
โต
Jum
เกลียว
Mo.
นี่สิ้นดาดแม่นบ่แต่ว่าโตหม้อหินหม้อน้อยๆน่ะเขาเอิ้นว่าจุ่ม
Oh, like when you see so the sign outside the restaurant be Jim Jum Mo.
อือฮึ
Jim
จิ้ม
Jum.
จุ่ม
Okay, yeah.
Enjoy.
I'll pass. Give me the full like Lao meal of pink guy tamahong.
Just not your cup of tea, huh?
No, not really.
Sinjin or Sinjat.
Soupy stuff is not like
Yeah.
usually my cup of tea. I like grilled meats and yeah, grilled meats and like yum. Oh, yum tale, yum pork pork pork.
That's a good Mai Tai that's a good suggestion that Barry should join someone's live stream because
I'll
when you
check it out.
join someone live stream they introduce your channel
I've seen his stuff for a long time. He's been on YouTube for a long time, and he's quite good with Thai. The Thai is quite good. Yeah, I'd seen him when he moved over to Thailand. He didn't speak much, and then he's got pretty fluent. He's been pretty fluent for a while now, so impressive. And he likes food, so yeah, he seems like a good dude to connect with. So maybe I'll stop over there after. I know he's been
Yeah.
out here
And
actually in videos with Mark Wiens. You know, I think he's a pretty good friend with Mark Wiens. Most people know who he is, I assume, here. And I know
yep.
when Mark Wiens brings him around, probably more for his, they're friends, but I think like also for his language skills, because I think he was helping like translate stuff and do stuff with him. But yeah, he was in his videos out here in Lao. One day, Mark Wiens will be contacting me to do some Lao food videos out here. It's gonna happen.
It will. It will. It will happen.
I'm sure it will, because there's so much good food out here, and I don't feel like I don't know any YouTubers that do Lao food out here. Like the only YouTube videos I've seen with Lao food have been like from Mark Wiens, and Gordon Ramsay done his one a bit ago, and Anthony Bourdain did some good stuff, but there's nobody that's like really dives into the food out here. So I'm excited for that part of my channel, because I love Lao food.
Yeah.
when
Yeah, that would
Iboy
be
come to Laos
epic.
you guys can do Laos food and that he's a chef
Ah, Ilibo.
Iboy he's a
Yeah,
chef
he's a chef.
I can't. Do I call him eye boy? If he's your eye, then he's not my eye. What do I call him? What do I call Mr. Boy? Mr. Boy.
well
I boy can
I
I.
you know
Iboy, no.
older brother like
I
who
could call.
guys that are older than you just prefer them as I
Hmm.
Or
And
if
you
you
feel.
respect them as older than you, even if
Yeah.
he's younger, but if you respect them, then you can just call him I. No?
Aye, okay. Aye, boy. When you come, we can talk food all day long. No problem. If you have any specialties, then you can show me something. I'm always up for trying something new. The other day in my cooking show, I did not like that makeng.
oh you did
At first, it was really weird. But then I just kept eating it, and I got a taste for it, and it's nice.
You know what? I think she brought the little one, the small one. That one's bitter. But if you eat the one that is not the bitter one, I think you'll be okay. There's two different kinds. I think you eat
bitter
the
food.
bitter
A lot of people
one.
always saying, "Oh, what home."
แล้วคม
Why?
คมดีก็คมเป็นยาหวานเป็นลมกันนะ
หวานเป็นลมคมเป็นยาแม่นแล้ว
Yeah, it was
เพราะว่า
it was an interesting flavor. It was like kind of, eggplant sometimes can be quite bitter. It wasn't that bitter, but it was at first it was a little bitter and tasted like plant. Wasn't great, but then all of a sudden it changed to this like flowery flavor, which I thought was interesting. It was almost flowery. But yeah, it was good. So I just kept eating them with the pompa until it was all gone.
I think the more you eat กินฉันกินเรื่อยๆนั่นล่ะสิลึงเพราะว่าคือตอนเฮายังน้อยตอนเฮายังน้อยเนาะแก้วเนาะเฮาก็แบบเฮาก็คิดว่ามันขมคือกันนั่นแหละแต่ว่าเฮากินย้อนว่าพ่อกับแม่ทุกคาบข้าวก็เจ้ากินอ้อกินแจ่วกินป่นกินหยังก็เจ้าก็ตักสดมาใส่ทั้งข้างเนาะแล้วก็เจ้าก็สิสอนว่าโอ้กินผักแน่เฮาก็สิกินเทื่อละน้อยกินไปแล้วก็ลืมไปบัดนี้น่ะขมก็แบบคือว่าแซ่บอะนะคือแบบเฮากินลาบกินป่นกินหยังแล้วกินแนวขมๆเข้าไปแล้วมันก็คือว่ามัน
ก็แม่นรสชาติใหม่ๆสำหรับคนต่างชาติเนาะคนต่างชาติบ่ค่อยกินขม
I like eating all kinds of vegetable. I need kind of taste. It's like I don't really complain. Like I like eating them all.
I'm not all of them. Definitely not all of them. I love my veggies, but some of these, if you see in my video, I said exactly how I feel. Sometimes it's just like another version of grass. I don't know what this leaf is supposed to taste like, but there's loads that are delicious, but there's loads of them that they just taste like a leaf. Like it's just not.
And some of them smell fishy,
but
right? Some of them smell like fish, like raw fish.
yeah like ผักขาวทองน้องกินบ่ได้เด้อ
Oh
แก้วเพราะว่า
Lord, what was that vegetable they were
เพราะว่า
trying to get me to eat yesterday? It smelled like kikwai.
Yeah, I think hot cow tong smell like fish. I love it. I don't know.
yeah
I like it.
I know that like for some people they ก็เจ้าสิว่ามันแบบมัน taste like fish นะ fish but then like you eat it more often and you get used to it like but for me like I couldn't pass it like every time I tried to eat I was like why it tastes like fish พอ
They had
ว่ามันเบอร์รี่แล้วกินเหรอแก้วว่ามัน
Yeah,
เบอร์รี่แล้วกิน
เขากินกับแจ่ว
แม่นบ่แล้วนั่งกัน
ตาน้อย
เชฟเพิ่นเอามาเนาะนั่งแต่น้อยแล้วเพิ่นเอามาหั้นน่ะแล้วเราให้เบอร์รี่กินแล้วเบอร์รี่แบบกินคือกรีนเนาะมันคือ taste คือกรีนนั่นน่ะเนาะแม่นบ่อันนี้แหละผักขาวทองนี่แหละ
They had the other day.
I
They
feel
had
you,
whatever
Barry.
it was. Whatever it was, they had it even sitting at the table, and I'd be sitting there, and like wind would like kind of blow a little bit, and I'd be eating like, yeah, let's get rid of that because I keep smelling it sitting here.
แม่นแล้
I
ว
couldn't believe how strong it was. Just a little like piece of plant they picked off the tree or whatever right here.
อืม
But there has
Yeah.
been so many surprising things that I've liked that I would have never imagined, you know. But even the other day in that cooking show, we had one of those leaves. She's like, "Oh, it's like a little sour," and I'm like, "Yeah, you can kind of get the like citrusy flavor at the very end, but the rest of the 95% of the flavor is just leaf. It's just
like green
like a green leaf. Like, nah." There's so many good things on the table. I feel like there's not enough room in my belly for everything sometimes.
yeah but what she mentioned right like when she said like okay when you can't eat just that alone you have to eat with the dish you know
Right,
ป่น
right.
ป่าหั่นน่ะเนาะแก้วเนาะ
Yeah,
จะต้องกินพร้อมกันแบบถ้าจะไปกินแต่ละเทื่อ
yeah.
มันก็บ่เข้ากัน สมมุติว่าเจ้ากินแจ่วหรือกินลาบกินหยังสิผักที่ว่ากินกับน่ะนะเจ้าต้องกินพร้อมกัน หรือ
Oh,
ว่า
well,
เจ้ากินลาบเข้าไปแล้วต้องกินกับกับผักเข้าไปโลดหั่นนะ แล้วมันจังสิเข้ากัน ถ้าว่าไปกินแต่ผักซื่อๆโดยที่ว่าบ่มีรากบ่มีหยังก็บ่แซ่บ
If you ignore the smell, the taste is good. It's like a
Yeah.
little bit sour, right? Just ignore the smell, the fishy smell.
No, theแก้ว I can't ignore neither, Barry. I don't blame you. Like I try to eat it so many times with the ผักขาวทองหั่นน่ะ but yeah.
I called out people leaves eaters. I agree.
Well,
I think
Sometimes
it's for older people. I think the younger generation they don't like that smell, the fishy smell. But the older people, we don't seem to mind.
a little bit of it is that like I don't have enough room in my belly, honestly. I want to eat lots of like the meat-based dishes. They're not only delicious but just for my health, and then I just don't have a lot of room for the 2 massive platefuls of veggies. So I eat a bunch, but like I really you can't eat those meals without ลวกผักมันก็ต้องมีลวกผักพร้อมเนาะ
Mhm.
กินซื่อๆก็บ่ได้เนาะ Oh, what does he say here? I can eat everything that Lao people eat as my chef. My mentality is anything goes. Yeah. And try anything, but try it more than once. I said that in my video. Like, I think if you try it one time and you don't like it, it's gonna. So much of this stuff is just like so new to our palate that you really gotta give yourself a chance and try it over and over again until your palate can kind of get a beat on what's going on there. Because at first,
When I was younger, I love เลือดแป้ง เดี๋ยวนี้ oh my god, I can't make myself to eat it. Like I can't.
like เลือดแป้งอยู่ในก๋วยเตี๋ยวบ่
บ่เลือดแป้งมาในจาน and it's like raw. Blood is raw, right? They
I feel
cook
like
everything else,
what's
but
the
the blood
purpose?
is raw. It's like jello.
Yeah, the what do you call it in English? Gelatin like blood. What do you call it? Like yeah, it's chunks of blood.
Very เคยกิน
โอ้เคยกินหลายเทื่อแล้วมันมี
เลือดแป้งอันใด
โอ้
มีอยู่ในก๋วยเตี๋ยวมีใน
no บ่ได้ใส่ในก๋วยเตี๋ยวใด just
นี่
ลา
บ่
บ
แม่น
เลื
เลือ
อ
ด
ด
เดียวกันบ่ลาบเลือด
อือฮึ
อ๋อ yeah เคยกินแซ่บอยู่
ลาบเลือดอันใดเลือดดิบๆ
ลาบเลื
นี่
อด
นะ
Mm.
raw blood
in my wedding video ไปดองเธอทำอิฐก็กิน
Yeah.
ไอ้แมงแคงน้ำลาบเลือดแซ่บหลาย I don't mind the raw meat because
Wait.
we
But-
eat raw meat like right like steak you want like pretty raw like
raw meat is okay but raw blood
It's different.
the blood is
Mhm.
just a little bit like yeah like the when you're eating it and the liquids in your mouth that is a strange feeling where you're like it's bloody it's a little weird
ที่Barry เคยเห็นบ่ที่ว่าเป็น dish ที่ว่าเขาเจ้าเอาเป็ดเอาเลือดเป็ดมาเลือดเป็ดสดๆหั่นน่ะมาเฮ็ดแล้วก็เจ้าจะอัดไปคั่วเครื่องในเป็ดเนาะแบบคั่วเครื่องในเป็ดแล้วก็เอามาใส่ในจานนั้นแต่ว่า
ใส่จาน
เลือด
แล้วก็
หั่น
เอา
มันเป็น
เลือด
เจลลี่เห็นน่ะ
cover with
อืม
blood cover with
Mm,
raw
with blood.
blood
maybe I need to start focusing my channel on food and that's how I'm gonna be like the huge YouTuber. Have you guys ever seen was it Andrew Zimmern or those like he had the bizarre food show or whatever? He ate like all kinds of crazy foods. But yeah, I think
Yeah.
I could literally do so many episodes of just food here with all the different unique things. I'm
Yeah,
excited to do that.
that would be an interesting content because like anything bizarre will always draw people want to curious about it, right? Like okay, eating snake or eating like spider or like
Like the other YouTubers that used to be here, Travels on Toast. Do you remember them being here? Did you ever watch them?
yeah,
Travels on
Gail's
Toast?
friend.
yeah
Gail's
Yeah.
friend.
Mhm.
They were really nice when I talked to them too before coming, but like their best videos were always the stuff like, รื่องบ้านนอก
Adventure.
Yes.
yeah the cat that we have right now is their cat
Oh really? Yeah, they're really nice people, like lovely people, and like their jungle videos, stuff that I'm like super excited to eventually have, have the opportunity to go do, because not only will the videos do well, but that's right up my alley. Like get out in the country, eat some
Come
weird
out and
stuff.
yeah. I can never do what they do. Like,
I
they asked
can't
if we
either.
wanna go travel with them. I mean, no way. Joe wouldn't last a day.
I can't
I
neither. I
I
can't
watch
either.
I watch what they do, and I'm like, I could do that, except at night I'm going home to a nice bed. I'm not sleeping in the jungle. Like that's not happening. I love adventure. We can go adventure, get down and dirty as much as we want, eat crazy stuff. But at the end of the day, I want to go home and
Right? And
relax and
like
sleep and have a good
take
sleep.
good shower, like a
Take a
nice
good
warm
shower. Right.
shower.
Like after a long day, the last thing I want to do is be like sweaty in my sleeping bag on a hard on the ground with bugs and being like, no, you're not going to sleep well. I can do hard stuff every day if I get some sleep. But no sleep, no go. Like every morning he wakes up like, "We didn't really sleep last night." You're like, yeah, no joke. In the freaking jungle.
have you ever camped in the US account and Barry?
I have, and I'm
Camping
not.
in the US is different. Camping in the US is like almost being at home.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of camping. I felt like everybody's just like, let's just haul all this stuff to take our home out into nature. So it's not even really camping. It's not
No.
challenging in any way. They have everything, and it's almost more of a chore because now you're taking like your whole home out into nature. It's like, nah. I'm just not a huge fan of camping because it's the whole like, my sleep is valuable, and if I'm not sleeping well, then I'm not having fun.
Yeah, like I did it one time. Camping, like we actually like camp, like set up the camp and everything, and I couldn't sleep the whole night. Like I'm a very easy sleeper. Like I go
Me
sleep
too.
wherever, like with the noise, with whatever. But when it come to sleep in the camp, like I don't know, like no, not for me. Like I couldn't sleep the whole night.
I
It's just
just
like
don't.
something on the ground and hot bed and
There was something always about camping to me that was like, this seems like a very privileged thing to do. This seems like a very, I don't want to say white thing to do, but it seems like a very like
uh,
upper class thing to do. Like I've got so much money and my life is so good. I'm gonna go out and live like I'm poor and in really hard, difficult conditions. Like people are living life like that already. I don't need to go live like I work hard so that I don't have to live like that every day. Like I don't want to go do that. No. But I sleep fine when camping. Usually, I sleep fine really anywhere. It's usually what happens is whoever is invited has not really taken account of the situation, and the worst experience is when it's freezing cold, like you see in what's his
yeah.
oh no Olivia and no, what's his name?
Mario.
Mario. You see in his videos, they always freezing at night. They don't sleep because they're freezing. Like that's a nightmare for me. I've had that happen a couple times. Like you
Yeah,
didn't bring the proper stuff.
they don't look comfortable at all. They're like they
No,
didn't get any sleep and
you would be comfortable, probably fine if you're just warm, but like it's it gets very cold at night. People don't realize it drops, just all it has to do is get below like 68, 65 degrees, and now camping ain't so fun no more.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to
What is
live in
this?
Utah.
Yeah, I agree.
My in-laws at the time, they are into camping, but then they have this it's not trailer, what is it, that like a moving home, the
Yeah.
motor home.
Yeah, trailer.
Yeah. And
A
trailer
No,
mobile.
RV,
trailer is smaller, but
an RV or
yeah,
oh, I know what you're
fancy
talking about. Is the small one or the big one?
big one, like the big
Oh,
fancy
okay.
one that have
Yeah.
nice comfortable bed, but then you go camping. I'm like, how is it a camping?
Yeah. Yeah, I
You're
don't really
moving
get it.
your home.
Right. Oh, you get people show up to where you're camping and all you brought was like minimum stuff, like because you're there to camp, like you're there to be in nature.
Hmm.
So I got like a tent and a sleeping bag and some random things that like cook over the fire, stuff to like. These people come out and like you wouldn't imagine the amount of equipment that they pulled out of their car. You like literally like a whole kitchen and a whole home, and you're like, what is going
And the
on in
food
here?
that they pack, like the food that she pack
It's
is,
hilarious. It's hilarious. You're like, are you camping? You're gonna like barbecue something? No, we're gonna make some sandwiches and you can pull out leftover lasagna. I don't know, like it's just crazy stuff you see people do.
Well, people still have to eat.
Well, that's what
oh,
the other like in the U.S. like it's a little different because you can't like hotels are pretty expensive. Whereas here in Laos, why would I camp when I can go out into nature all around me and then go to a guest house anywhere? Like there's going to be a guest house nearby for
mm,
$5. It's not a big deal. It's not expensive. So
mhm.
I may as well go get my
Yeah.
shower, get my sleep. What is it, Mr. I boy? He's saying you blowing people out of the water with some leaves. The Western alligators do. What's that mean? I'm not understanding.
You mean tongue
Alligator.
or
Western alligators. Well, maybe you can explain a little bit more. I'm a little lost. I don't know what tung is.
maybe tongue? Because alligator, they don't have tongue, right?
แม่นบ่
Alligators, they don't have tongue.
I don't know.
Oh,
Now
I
you
don't
got me wondering if alligators got to have tongues. Okay, we called the Western alligator tongue. Alligators got no tongue. Anyway, blew them out of the water with leaves. Yes, a lot of people's food is incredible with just a little leaf. You could blow some Westerners' minds if they're willing to try it. That's the thing.
I it's to me as a Lao person, like I get used to it, right? Like we eat all kind of vegetable, even grass. We eat grass, right? But you know, like when you go to the US, like I went to the US when I first landed in, and then I think like I was on a road trip with one of my cousin, and then like they saw you know like something on the road, and they're like, "Hey, stop! Like we're gonna pick that flower or vegetable
I
to
love that
take
part of
home,"
things. Like
and
actually, that kind of is something that's super different from the US that I really love about being out here is I do feel like you're much more connected to the world around you where like back home people don't know anything about the trees, the plants around them like how often that you'd be somewhere or visiting someone even in a new area or even back in your hometown and you'd ask your parents, an adult, anybody, what tree is that? What plant is it? Nobody knows these things for the most part. And
uh,
here like everybody knows exactly what you can eat and
Yeah, they're like, oh, this is good for this, this is good for this, this is
yeah,
good for your eyes, this is
medicine,
good for your
right.
stomach.
So
They
there's like this
know.
connection with like the connection with where you live and connection with yeah, just your life. Like I feel like we live in a weird like bubble back home where you're like not really a part of your environment. We're very a part of your environment here. I like that. Very
and
aware of it.
surely Lao people bring that to the US.
Oh yeah. Can you
I was
imagine
laughing
you're in the US
so
going down the
hard
road and you got some Asian person off the
on
side of
the
the road
freeway.
taking I believe. I love that.
Yeah, it was so it's a funny scene, right? Like because
It's
like we just
hilarious.
from somewhere and they're like, hey, like stop, and they did stop and you know went out and collect leaves, that plants.
I wonder if I have any of that on film because it still makes me laugh all the time if I'm traveling with loud people. Like stop, 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 and then all of a sudden, your aunt is out there like picking random stuff off the tree. Like, what is she doing?
um, we my house on the side of the fence. My dad he grow the he plant the, how you call it, the tapioca roots, right?
Mm.
And people also eat the leaves. They also use the leaves to steam it or boil it, and they eat it with lab or bone or whatever. And a
Hmm.
lot of time, like, people just drive past my fence and they just stop and they just pick the leaves, pick the tapioca leaves out of my fence. That's so funny to me.
I do kind of enjoy too, and not kind of. I do actually enjoy in Lao. Like, I haven't really seen people get upset about sharing stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, people.
Oh
Whereas I
no.
feel like Westerners, people might be a little bit more like, "This is mine," and where in here it's like if you got anything growing, like your neighbor's like, "Can I get a couple? Pick some leaves, whatever." Of course. So it's kind of nice. Like everybody
Yeah.
just like we have neighbors come over all the time to my place to get some no mai because oh ban clay no mai ngam de ngam lai.
Yeah, I think like if you don't see the people, the owner, or like people in the house, then they probably don't say anything, right? They just pick the leaves and go. But
Yeah.
if they see somebody, they're like, "Oh, call nider,
Mm,
call ni nider." They would say
yeah, yeah,
something like that.
right.
They pay the respect, right? Which that's fine, as if it's okay. we
This
we
is
we we
hilarious.
we grow. Yeah, it is. Yeah, see, not just me saying, because I witnessed that myself.
That's so funny. I found that
Where are you
It's
hilarious.
from?
so weird.
Can you believe who's here?
It-
I kontan.
Ah.
oh, I could.
I kontan malao.
สบายดี
Of
I
course.
can.
เจอผู้สาวแต่ อยากพูดเลย
I think next time she comes over, she's probably gonna make gang no mai, huh? I think she would probably go pick some no mai and hit gang no mai.
Oh, for sure, for sure. I
Yeah,
kontan
I love her
says,
wife.
who's vibe? Beverly?
Tanoi, Tanoi.
Tanoi. Oh,
No,
Tanoi. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Tanoi,
yeah, yeah.
Tanoi.
Then
I
Tanoi is
love her
so
genuine.
lovely.
Yeah, she's genuine.
She's
She
lovely.
just, being her, being
Yeah, she's
real.
real.
It
Mhm.
doesn't.
You
Yeah,
meet somebody
you
like
you
that,
can tell.
and you're like, who's your husband? Because congratulations, you found a good one. Like she's really
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
lovely. Yeah, yeah. You meet somebody like
Yeah,
that, you're like, yeah, the good ones exist out there. Where are they? I need to find some. She's just lovely. Like she just doesn't skip a beat. Everything's very positive, and
yeah.
yeah,
She doesn't care, right? She doesn't care who's gonna judge her. She just being her, being real,
yeah,
being genuine. I love that about her so much. Like, what you see is what you get from her.
Mhm.
She doesn't pretend.
yeah. I
Yeah, I
told
love I love her.
like Gal at the beginning of our last live stream, like I don't have to do anything. She really just keeps it going. Like
Natural.
Yeah.
She's so
yeah,
natural.
she's very natural, and
Yep.
it's been surprising to me because I'll be honest. Usually, if I meet somebody out here, then like there's tends to be an angle, like whether they want me to go buy something, they want to invite me drinking. There's she hasn't asked me for anything. She hasn't been like, oh yeah, like by the way, when are you gonna teach
She's
me how to do
open.
YouTube or when are you gonna do
Mhm.
this? Or like
Mhm.
she's
Mhm.
just like we come and make our food and she goes about her day and like yeah, that's nice. Like you know what I mean? Like where people respect your time, respect you, and they aren't just like they're not needy. She's not needy at all. Just doesn't we just do our thing and it's very, very good. Like yesterday, she wasn't
Yeah,
free.
but
Like this is not about like being stressed about we got to do
Mm-hmm.
this many times. Like
Mm-hmm.
whenever we're free, we're gonna come have a nice meal. Like I want it to be like just enjoy and
Oh yeah, that's way better than schedule it and have to
yeah,
be today. Like, where are you? I'm
yeah,
waiting.
yeah. Plus, it doesn't work with Lao. Like I found that the best thing you can do is have a lot of different things that you can be working on. So when one thing isn't moving along because things move slowly, you can be doing something else and not worry about it.
Yeah.
But if you're really like, because for a lot of Westerners and myself included, like a lot of times it's like you just want to focus on something and get it done and then move on to the next thing. But you got to learn how to juggle things here and be working on multiple things as they each one slowly moves.
It still bother me sometimes. Sometimes I forgot and I let it bother me. Like I get a little frustrated with people.
Oh yeah, yes. Like I've met a lot of people so far trying to do YouTube and collaborate with people. Like I told you about trying to find people to help me with the language side and somebody that I could do film stuff for the real estate side and just different things. And she's the first one that's followed through and done anything. Like every other person's like, oh man, I've spent meetings and they've called me, and then you realize like this person's literally just wasting. They just want to chat. They're just wasting my time. Like they don't like. I'm
Yeah.
not a. I don't know. I'm a little different when that it's like we're friends, but like let's get you know down to what we're doing here. It's not just hang out. You la la. I don't know. Like kongan. Ma you la la.
Naglom.
Lom you la la. Oh.
Oh
Bohet
my
yang
God.
and I'm like,
That's bothered
okay.
me so much. It's like I can't still get used to that attitude.
Like when you meet and you talk about something, you're like, yep, and it seems like everything's going, and then not, and you don't do anything. I'm like, what? Why did we just waste all that time then? Whereas I met like maybe her and then one other guy sang was helped me a lot with my channel. Yeah, as soon as we talked, even though maybe we weren't going to be able to like work together long term, but we filmed a video right afterwards. I'm like, see, that's action. Let's do it. Like take action. Like enough chit chat. A lot of times people just chit chat, chit chat, chit chat, and you're like, why don't we just do it? And if it fails, and we try to do it differently the next time. Like just uh, a lot of worry from people, like worrying about, I don't know exactly how it's gonna go. Neither do I. Neither do I. But we're gonna go for it and see how it
Yeah.
goes.
Mm-hmm.
What is Icon-chan talking about here? Let's see. I appreciate that. Yeah, that was surprising that second cooking video it went to 1,000 almost at the same time as the first cooking video. It caught up real quick.
Yeah, she's the show. She's the show
Mm-hmm.
itself. Like you don't have to prep things. Being her, being the raw, real, genuine her, I think like that will just draw people attention. People thrill to get to know those kind of people who are really them, right? They're not pretending to be somebody else. Like it's hard to find that kind of people in this world. Like it's not easy. Even we have, you know, billions people here in the world, but it's not every day you will come across with someone like her.
What did I have
With
one person say like, why don't you actually try making it yourself? And I'm like, people want to see her. They don't want to see me. She's the star.
yeah, yeah. She's the
Like
woman. She's the lady that helped. She's
uh,
pretty,
she's pretty.
and yeah, the most important thing, she's just being her, being real
Hmm.
her.
I think it would be fun to like definitely have her switch over behind the camera and have her talk about what's going on next, and then have me cooking a bit,
Mm-hmm.
but not the whole episode. Like we got things to do with life. we want to eat, and we want to eat good food. All right, like I'm not trying to mess everything up, and then we have nothing good to eat. We actually are eating a meal together, and we only have so much time, right? So
Yeah,
I would like to do it though. I think it'd be fun to have her behind the camera a little bit, and I'm gonna try to get her involved a little bit more. Sometimes I'm talking, and then I can see her kind of like, when is it my turn to chime in? So I'm gonna try to like make it a little bit more like us together in the shot. A lot of times just me behind, but yeah, there's little improvements. But she's a star. She's an absolute star. So I hope that she sticks around. You know, like when she says she's not free, I'm like, please mean that you're really not free and that you're not just gonna not come anymore because everybody loves you. And it couldn't have gone. It couldn't. It couldn't have literally couldn't have gone any better. Like for her to just show up at my house and us just, I don't like, it's effortless. Like that's the way it should be. You know, we're just cooking a
Yeah.
simple meal together, and she's not stressing about anything. I'm not stressing about anything. That's the main thing with trying to get people to do stuff is they are so stressed about like what exactly were we doing. I'm like, it's
Mhm.
not like we're just, you know, like but I guess I get it. I don't know. I guess I get the stress, but like I try to explain to people that are stressed, like if you script it, then it's super stressful. You got to know like, what do I do now? What do I do now? If we just do like
Yeah.
everyday life, like you just be yourself and
Yeah.
it's
Just
fine.
go with the flow.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's try to answer Ekonjan's question. So she asked, "Can you tell me about the Lao American lady that bought the land and built the house? Mm, specifically, how many acres and how much did she spend?" She got uh, an acre. And how many acres? I thought it was like
I heard.
three. Samlai, bo.
I
Samlai.
thought I heard over an acre.
It's over an acre, but I don't know exactly how many lai it was. But it was a little. It was over an acre, like 1.3 or 1.4, something like that. I think it was around $50,000-$60,000 for the land, and then for the house, I think she's. I've talked to her a lot about this stuff just because I want to make these type of videos, and I think you could anticipate if you want a little piece of land probably around that price, and then if you want to build a little home between $20,000 to $30,000. So all in, you got a home and land for like 80K. Pretty good. And she built that thing in 3 months. 3 months she had it done. So pretty impressive.
Yeah.
Probably including furniture and all that, like 100, huh? Just be
Probably,
prepared
yeah. She had to do all the furniture.
with
She
100.
was she was doing like Lao style where you moved in before it's even finished and you're just sleeping on the floor with a mosquito net. She was really doing Lao style there for a minute.
Mm.
But you see a lot of people do that. They'll be building their house and living there, and it's not complete. You're just living like you're camping for a while.
Hmm.
But Lao is easy to do that because you can get food for cheap and go to the market and all that stuff. Like I can't imagine trying to do that in the States. I can't imagine.
Yeah, pretty soon, like she almost don't have to spend money on food, right? She have her pond in the back and vegetable and all that.
Hmm. That's awesome. They got I thought it was
Yeah.
hilarious that she had goats, but she quit with the goats because they kept on dying off. kept on.
They kill each other.
They kill each other, like ram into each other and died. She said,
Oh,
"I couldn't believe that."
sad.
I can't imagine if I saw that I'd be dying. I'm sorry. That's too funny. And then they just died. Like, and then she said it got
Yeah.
cold. Like they died from getting cold. What else? She's a bunch of stuff. Oh, and that poor dog that she ran over.
Oh, Marbury. Why would you tell this? Oh my gosh.
That was
With
fun
the dead
video.
animals.
Lily got ran over and she's still walking funny. She survived though. I thought she'd be dead. She was under the truck.
Oh.
My
Oh, so-
dog, but she's alive. She's running funny a little bit.
Well, because yeah, she's lucky that she got you and Joe, right? Because
Yeah, we took her to the vet right
um,
away. Then
mm,
she got medication, and it was funny when she couldn't walk good, and she had to go use the restroom. And it was like raining season, so I have to like hold the camera for her, and Joe have to carry her. She wouldn't go because it's raining.
What?
She's gonna get wet.
Oh, this dog's got personality. She's like,
Mhm.
talk about by dog.
But she's smart though. She understands both Lao and English.
Oh, that is a smart dog.
Hmm.
I love
Yeah, I don't
talking.
know. Manila people, they they adopt um animals, even cat or dog or whatever, they when they get sick, they tend to abandon them because they don't want to pay. Like, why you would
Mm,
have adopt them at the first place? Like they like your family. If there's something happened, you're gonna let your family, got sick, die, or like got,เป็นขี้เหื่อน
Yeah.
โดยเฉพาะมันเป็นขี้เหื่อนบ่อย่างเช่น like
oh,
why? Like then you shouldn't got them in the first place. Like when they got when they adopt um the little one, right? They're so cute. They cute. They small. But like when they become adult, they're like, oh, like they're not cute
They're not
anymore.
cute anymore.
I'm not gonna, yeah, I'm not gonna take care of you. Like, what kind of person are you? Like even the animals, you still abandon, them. Like when they become something else, you don't care. Like
yeah,
I mean, that's kind of for me. Like I'm annoyed by that, and I think like people when they before they adopt something, before they take care of something, they should they should really think like they can afford it, they can take care of it, right?
right.
Not just like okay, they cute or whatever, and then yeah.
She was having such a hard time when Olivia and Mario brought the cat. She's like, "Oh, no, no, this is my home." It took her, oh my God, months before she's finally, like recently, that she finally relaxed when she see Chai, when she see the cat.
Yeah, cat, they have a different personality than dog too. They yeah, they it takes time for them to adapt. I'm the cat person, and I raised many cats in my life, and I learned in my journey of raising cats, like like what cats like or don't like, or what is
Mhm.
they so many personalities, and you can't tell if one cat will be similar to another cat. They don't. They kind of like human. They have different personality.
And I think that a lot of it is because she's really jealous too. And, she have her bed outside, but we keep Jai in the house. She's
Oh,
probably thinking, "Oh, why you get to live in a house and
right.
I'm not allowed in."
She's not
Well,
single.
Barry, would you? Oh, okay, yeah. You answer I Chan, huh?
She's not single.
She's taken. I Chan.
She's not single. Oh, so she'd be a handful, man. You wouldn't want to. What were you going to say, King?
Oh, I was gonna say that. So, what is your situation with the house right now? With the house you live in, like, what is your schedule? Like, what is your
Uh,
typical days like? If we want to do something with you, then like, how's gonna be? If maybe one of these day, I can go out and then maybe we can create a content. I can be your cameraman and you can, do the things that you want to
yeah.
do.
Well, because I did quit that school job, I'm just trying to find any work I can to help pay the bills. But yeah, so other than that, I just wake up and I work on this YouTube stuff all day. And besides when I eat and go to the gym, so yeah, I'm free to do anything. I keep my schedule is open for anything like just related to what we're doing here for sure.
And then with the house situation, is it like you have you have to live in this house because of the law's bike, or
Well,
what is the
maybe I'll message you because I was gonna message you, but obviously it's a little strange to be like, you're married with your husband, and it's like, do you mind if I come live with you
Well, it's
guys?
okay. I
That's,
mean, well, I talk to my husband about you, and of course, he's coming in April,
hmm
and I would love for you guys to meet. It's
right.
like we trust each other. Like otherwise, we're not gonna do the long distance relationship. We've been in a relationship for over 14 years, and it got a lot of trust, right? Like to
Yeah.
be in the long distance, because he lives there and I lives here.
hmm
So yeah, don't worry about that. And, like we talk about everything. I told him about you, and it's okay.
As long as
Yeah,
everybody's comfortable,
he's
because
aware.
I've been back home. I've been back home to like live with when I went to visit back home over the years, when I between teaching overseas, then stay with my brothers,
Mhm.
but then you find out that their wife was not happy to have me there, and you're like, it's just an uncomfortable situation, like everybody has to kind of be like cool with a person staying with you, right? And the reason,
Yeah,
but like, to answer your question, like, uh yeah, my lease has been over since February, so that's why I was like, I should probably message her, because it really would be huge to come stay with you guys, so that I could just put uh, everything into improving this channel, like a computer that actually works. Save a little bit of money on the rent that I pay here, which is, it's a little bit expensive. Not a little bit. I signed this contract because I didn't know the prices. It's $200 for a month, and it's like, it's not really private. Like, I like the place, but the issue with it is I feel like I'm paying $200 to live with them on their farm. Like, I have the guy that they bring. When I signed the contract, I was under the impression that, like, okay, they bring their handicapped relative, that he's handicapped, but like, I take care of this guy, because
the
he
guys
seems
on the
very,
video.
yeah, he's very like lonely. They just
I
drop him
get
off
it.
here all
Mhm.
they just drop him off all day, and he's
Mm.
handicapped, and like, he's kind of like a child, when you talk to him, like the way he is. And so I just always try to take him
Mm.
time to like talk to him,
Okay.
because you could tell, like, he's not getting anything much of, you know conversation back home.
Like
I talk to people,
attention.
attention, so and you can see how much he lights up when he sees me. He's really genuinely happy to be here with me, and so I try to give him some time to talk to him. It's hard because because the he's speech is affected by whatever his ailments are, whatever he's going through, and he gets like really bad. I don't know what's going on with his health. Like, he gets like bad migraines or something. So you can see some days that he's just totally like messed up, and I'm like trying to like,
Mm.
how do we take
Mhm.
care of him? But anyways, that's the sad part of it, because I was under the impression, like, I'm paying $200 to rent a home, that there would be somebody to come and they take care of the place and they leave, but they just drop them off here all day, and then they come
Oh
whenever
wow.
they want. That's why it was so weird with the motorcycle disappear, because they literally come and go as they please. They never say a word, and so I could be getting out of the shower naked, and then all of a sudden there's people outside my window, and I'm like, what is this? What is this? Like, is there any privacy around here? But I just, that's why I say, people, take your time when you're looking for a place when you come here, because I'm paying $200, which literally I've seen full houses that you could rent for $200 here in Vientiane, and there's no reason for me to have people like, it can be quite annoying, when you're like a long day's work, you come home, and then they're having friends drinking here outside my house, and you're like, what are you doing? This is a rented home. Like, this isn't just your place that, like, you invite people over and have drinks and a meal and stuff, and be like, hey, how you doing? Come to join us. You're like, I'm coming home from work. I'm tired. I want to wind down. Like, this is, yeah, it's weird. But my contract has been up since February, and so I'm free to go,
Yeah,
and free to
yeah.
go.
We can talk about that in the back, back door.
Sure, sure.
Just like trying to figure something out, and like Miguel and I, like we really want you to get you to your goal, and whatever that we can help, we would love to. And also, like, it, I'm not sure with the payment that you have to pay for the lost bike. Like, is it you can
Yeah.
negotiate, or like what is this? How are you gonna address that? Um,
I've tried
because
negotiating
they
with
don't want
them.
it. They're not gonna want you to move out, right? Like with the
Well, that's what they said at first, but then I've been talking to, I don't know, like, yeah, they've had some weird reactions to things here. Like, yeah, I don't
Mm.
understand like why they asked me for 20 million when the bike's really old and it's only worth like 6, 7 maybe. And then why they said that, I was like, this isn't very positive vibes. Like, you can't leave. I was like, I'm not going anywhere. And so I think they kind of understood after, the last, it's been gone since October, and I've been talking to them since, wait, the end of November, sorry. They understand though that I'm not going anywhere. I'm here long term in Laos, so they haven't been
Oh,
acting like they've changed their tune. They haven't been acting like that anymore. Like, I had told them that I was going to move out at the beginning of February because I didn't want to renew a contract, but they were like, "Well, you can just pay month to month." And at first, they were going to let me move out. They were going to let me move out, and they had no problem with me paying off the motorbike. And I was like, "Okay, good," because that's how it should be. Should have a I don't know. I don't blame them for not having faith in people and not trusting that I'd pay it back. But I think that maybe they just they know that I want to be here, so that doesn't it's not something I want to do to cause a problem over a motorbike. Like, even if they are charging me too much, like, here's the money. Like, I hope your life is better for it. I don't, money is just
yeah.
a
I think
means
I
to an
think
end
you
to
should.
me.
Yeah, I think you should just like talk to them, and like whatever that it, the worth of the bike with the money just paid out. Like, don't like then get over it, right? Like, you don't want to like go back and forth with them. It seems like
Yeah,
they their intention is it's not like it's suspicious to me. And
it's
and I
just
think like for
yeah.
this kind of thing, I just want to get over like not no contact with them. If you
Even
move
if
out,
they,
then just move out.
I wouldn't
Yeah.
want to put that on them, like that they stole something. So I just don't even think about that part of it. I just think, hey, somebody stole it, whatever. But I do. I'm not gonna say that they didn't see an opportunity and take it. Like, to come ask me for 20 million is outrageous. Like, what is this? Like, you see that you have an opportunity to make some money here, and you, all right, well, I know where you stand. That's all right. But I like you said,
Yeah, but
to me,
the bike is lost in the gate. It's not like you go somewhere and somebody stole it. That's a different story. Like, it's in the
yeah,
house. Even you don't own that
yeah,
bike. If they own it, it's still gonna then somebody's
yeah.
still gonna store it.
I mean, obviously, like in the states,
It doesn't make sense.
this would not fly, right? So
Uh-huh.
for me, it's like hard. I'm trying to approach it from like try to understand the Lao way of things, but I'm like, look, like, it's parked on your property. It's your bike, and I'm supposed to be entrusting that it's safe here. Like, so if you don't have cameras to tell, like, you don't have any cameras set up, like, we should both be taking responsibility for this. Like, I don't know. Like, to me,
Yeah,
it's like should be
it
a
doesn't make
half and half.
sense.
But
Yeah, it's not even half and half. It's not like it's like you let your friend borrow the bike, and then like, yes, it will. I mean, to me, if you go somewhere, you park the bike somewhere and somebody stole it, yeah, you're gonna have share responsibility. But this bike, it was in the gate and lost in the gate.
right,
that
yeah, so
that part I
that's
don't
why. Because
understand.
I'm looking at it from my perspective is if I rented my bike, I rented my home and my bike to somebody, and it got stolen right out of my
Mhm.
front yard, then I would have a little bit of like mercy on the person to say like, look, like, you do have a responsibility to make sure it's put away properly and like keep it safe, but it's on my property, so like, yeah, I'm not gonna like charge you more than full price for the bike, double, triple the price of the bike. Like, yeah, I don't know. I just honestly at the end of the day, I start to feel bad because I'm like, really is like life that hard for some of these people to make it by that you got to take like. It just feels like every time with them, it's like they're taking an opportunity. Like I've seen it multiple times. Like, oh,
Yeah.
they give somebody a bad exchange rate on something. Like just the little things. You're like, really?
Mm-hmm.
That's what you're gonna do with stuff? Like, yeah, that's the you're the one that has to live with that. So that's all right. But for
Yeah.
me,
Yeah, I think
like I
just
said, it's just money. Like it's just money. To me, money comes and goes. It's just life. Money is coming and going. So I
mhm.
long ago like stopped, especially as a teacher, you just stop being like money is not that important for my happiness. Like I know I'm not going to be rich when I'm a teacher, so it's like can't be mad sad if money's coming and going. Just it's a means to an end. That's all. Give them the money. It's more worth it for me to have like peace of mind than anything else.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
it'll all
Well,
work
I
out. Like
mean, I talked to a girl, right? Like maybe, like you can talk to the bike owner and like ask them like how much they want for this, or like, like you just want to pay it off or something like that, like get over it. Like you
yeah,
I think that when you move out, you don't wanna have to talk about this
I
lost
don't.
bike.
I would prefer like obviously just to go buy him a bike, but I kind of tried to do that and they kept on making it difficult. I'm like, why are you making it difficult for me to just buy you the same bike, a Honda 100cc from 2012? But you sit and be like, well, ours was in way better condition. Like, says who? You've got no pictures. It wasn't registered. It wasn't registered while you were renting it to me, which they kept getting mad when I was saying that.
Jeez.
So I kept saying, like, look, like, this is not right. Like, this bike wasn't even registered. They're like, we have all the documents. We're getting upset. Stop saying that. I'm like, it's not registered and I was driving it. That's illegal. Like, so what is going on with this? Like, they don't
Yeah,
see it.
I think maybe talk to them and like get down to the price. And I think like I don't think they want, I think they want the money. I don't think they
They
would
want the
like it
money.
that you gonna go out and buy the new one. I think like they just want the money.
They
But
want the money.
seeing if you're gonna pay it off, just like asking like this this is my how this much that I can pay, if you're gonna
Yeah.
pay it off in one time, you know just like basically negotiate with them.
Well,
You know what I
when
think?
I negotiated, they wouldn't go lower than 16. Like, we just can't go lower than 16. We'll take you to the shops. I'm like, we're like, of course it's not going to be the right price. You want to take me to the motorcycle shop and buy the bike off the lot? Of course it's going
You
to
know
be
what
60
what
million
what
plus.
else will help some Laos person with you?
They didn't like that. I
Mm.
brought a Lao person. I brought a Lao person to come negotiate, and the Lao person said exactly what I'm saying. They're like, "This is bike's 2012. We can go grab one for like 6 to 8 million."
Mm.
And they just started looking super frustrated. They took the contract that they were going to try to have me sign, and they just put it away. And they were like, "We're not going to negotiate right now." They just started. They shut off. They got upset, and they started kind of being a little rude to this guy because
Mm.
they're like, well, we'll take you to the shops and show you. There's nothing. It's like, why do we need to buy it from a shop? Just find somebody selling one. And then he's like, where's your pictures? They're like, we don't have any. Okay, where's the registration? Uh, all we have is the card or whatever it is, like from 2012. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. Anyway, it's not a big. I'm not worried about it. It'll be fine. I'll figure it out, and they'll get their money, and it'll all be fine.
Just let them be happy, right? Just
Yeah. What is it to me? Like, it's annoying, but it's more annoying to fight with somebody about something. Yeah.
So that
Nah.
means that you can move out
Yeah, I
now.
can move. I can move out, and I
Yeah.
told them last time when I was gonna
Okay.
move out. I said, look, I can't. Well, at first I tried to be like stupidly of me. Tried to be like, can we negotiate the rents? But of course, nobody's gonna take a lower rent than they got from you the first time around. But I tried to explain like, look, you can't like because they were saying when you move out, help us find another foreigner to come live here, and I'm like, look, no foreigner would live like this. No foreigner would live like this. Not a chance. Like foreigners,
Especially the way you treat people. You think I would
foreigners,
want anybody to
right?
experience what I experienced?
I wouldn't feel right putting them in a situation where I know that you guys are like looking for your opportunity to make a buck, and like this is not the right price. Like you want to rent this for what it is, you rent it for 50, 75, $100. What, like it couldn't be more than 100 to rent with like
Mm.
zero privacy. Like no foreigner is going to live like that. You can't rent somewhere and then come and go as you please. Like no foreigner is going to be happy with you just showing up whenever you want. Sorry, that's just not going to happen. That's the main
Yeah.
thing. Like if you're going to use this, you're using the farm to support yourself, to live off of, but you're trying to sell it as like it's a rental home. But it's not. Like you're here all the time, especially on the weekend. Like you work all week, and then the weekend they're there all day, and you're like, and I try to bring a friend over, and they're like, it's okay, you can bring anybody over, don't worry about us. I'm like, do you not like? Yeah, I'm not worried about you, but do you want somebody when you bring friends over to just be hanging out around? Like, no, it's so weird. Especially if it was like you're on a date or something, even more weird. Like you got random people just hanging out here. Yeah, it is a little strange.
Like, who is he? Who is she? Who did he bring over?
Yes, and then they are definitely the type of people that, yeah, exactly. Like I've had issues with that. Like they like to gossip, and I'm like, you can't just be here whenever you want, and then go to other people and be like, Barry's super messy. Like, yo, I don't know when you're coming and going to like make sure that I got my dishes cleaned up at every moment. Like, and then you go around telling people that I'm a messy person. Like, come on. Or at the beginning, I had to tell them like, stop. Like, if you're gonna come on Sundays, I get it. You say you work all week, you don't have time to really take care of the farm, so you need to come on a Saturday, Sunday, and do a bunch of work, whatever. Even though I've told you I don't want anybody here on the weekend because you've already come all week. At the very least, don't come banging around in my kitchen in the early morning. Like they'd come and she'd start like 7:30 on the weekend. Before, when I was working a lot, I wanted to sleep in. When I was doing YouTube, I wanted to sleep in. I was teaching. Now I'm up and doing this stuff. But yeah, banging around in the kitchen, have her phone on speakerphone, screaming and talking to her friend on speakerphone. You're like, what? It's the weekend. It's wild, but
That's a part of the Lao culture that I don't like. You know, that's the part that I like. Sometimes people want privacy. You know, either you're very socialized, right? Like as a Lao people, you know that you're a very socialized person, but that doesn't mean like I don't need my privacy. I don't need my private time. I need time to to be quiet, to stay with myself, or like it doesn't mean like I need people coming all the time. Like, yeah, I don't have energy of that. Like, yeah,
For some
maybe I'm
reason,
different because
for some reason that's not important to them, right? They like come over and make noise and do whatever they want, and they don't think about, oh, you might be sleeping, or maybe you just went to bed, or you're sleeping, am I making too much noise? They don't care, but they don't think about that.
they're
No.
not considerate.
It's not
They
their
don't.
culture, it's their culture. I mean, we can be doing the same thing and
Yeah,
they wouldn't mind. We can just pop up at their home and making noise
right.
and start cooking. They're not going to complain. They'll probably like it.
Right. I don't know, but like with the whole like me showing up and them having friends over, I'm like, why wouldn't you just invite your people to your house? You have your own home. Like, why are you inviting people over here? I don't know. I'm like, I don't understand
Yeah, if
why I'm
if you
paying
live
rent.
there for free, it will make sense, right? If
Yes.
you live there for free, if you like, okay, live there for free, but we would do our own term, we would do
Mhm.
whatever we want. But in the contract, you sign a contract, you pay for the rent, and
Right.
like you It's like a it's like a bonus for okay, rent
For
this place
them,
and
yeah.
we'll bring the party to you.
Well, they didn't even. I was washing everything by hand for the first 6 months because Beverly was helping me come here. She signed the contract. I told her don't sign nothing. Like I need to come and check it out, right? But she went and signed this place before I got here, and then they are
Mm.
like, "You signed the contract. We don't have to provide you with the washer." Like I don't have time to wash my clothes by hand every day. Like what the heck? So for 6 months,
My
and
goodness.
and then the guy taking care of the farm there, the handicapped gentleman, he was asking to do like my laundry to make a buck or whatever, because he
Hmm.
likes to go buy like a treat or whatever. He doesn't really come with a whole lot of food or whatever, so I usually share my fruit with them and share stuff with them. Like then I give him like a little bit of money to go buy a Pepsi or whatever if he cleans up something. But he was asking me to do my laundry, and I was letting him do it. And then I get a call from her saying, "You can't have him do that. He's too old. Like you have him working the whole farm. What do you mean? Like he asked me to do it, and he wants to like buy some snacks and stuff. Like oh he's too tired." And I'm like, I know exactly what's going on here, because she said you got to pay him properly. I'm like, so you either want to make money off of this, or you're worried that he's not
Yeah.
having doing the work that you want him to do. So like I don't know. I just felt like this guy is a 60-something-year-old man is handicapped. Let him do what he wants. Why are you policing this situation? Like we have a fine relationship going on here.
Yeah, he
And
just
so
want to make some money to buy candies.
she went and told him that there was a problem with me, and I was upset with him that I. And then the next day after I talked to her, and I was upset with her about the laundry thing, he wouldn't even come near me. He looked terrified of me, like that
Oh.
he looked
Oh
really
my
hurt.
God.
I'm like, what did you
Oh.
say to him? That like I don't like him, that he's bought like because he was just like walking on eggshells around me, like,
Mm.
is everything okay? Did I like, I'm sorry if I did anything. I'm like, you didn't do anything. Like like message her like, what did you say to this guy? Like, oh man, like give me so like
Oh my gosh. If I have to sign a contract, live with somewhere, pay the rent, and then comes with this drama. Oh.
yeah, it's been a bit of drama. Finally, I think they finally got me a washer after 6 months, because I was just like, I don't care if you are gonna sue me, because that's what they said. And I said, I can't live here. Like this is not private at all. You do whatever you want. I don't have a washer. Like it's far from work outside of the city. Like I'm leaving. And they said, we'll sue you if you leave because you're under contract. I said, I don't care at this point. You can do what you want. And then they got me the washer.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Maybe we can I can meet up with you for, a coffee or something, and then we can
yeah,
talk about, the things.
Go to the tree
And
house.
yeah.
we'll go to the treehouse. Yeah, we should
Treehouse
go film a
Cafe.
video.
Yeah. Yeah.
I want to see it.
We go to Bree's house. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah. So let's
I don't know if that. Let's see.
let's
Says,
answer. I call Vientiane and
let's see what
have
people are saying.
the
Yeah,
comments in here.
I feel like I spent 20, 30 minutes talking about that, which is lame because you don't want to give this type of thing too much time. So we'll move on from that. Yeah, it stunk, but whatever. I don't like to think that they're bad people, even though it's been not the best experience. Yeah,
Well, sometimes you have to go
Oh.
through bad experience to appreciate the good one.
I try to remember
Mhm.
everybody's trying to survive, and everybody's trying to make a living, and sometimes people just kind of get off the wrong path a little bit with trying to find a way to make a living. But at the same time, if you're not
Yeah.
savvy and like super ambitious, then you won't ever make any money. You got to have some sort of like business savvy. You know what I mean? They're trying. They're trying. No, they're trying to do it. Like they just
Yeah, but
can't do this.
that's a bad way to go, though. That's not the positive way to do that, because
Mhm.
people spread the words. Like,
Mhm.
how are you
Yeah.
gonna bring the business back if you treat people not right? You know,
Well, that's
It-
exactly it. Like to me, it's like, well, they missed the
yeah.
opportunity really with me because if they would have been good to me, like as my channel grows and there's more
Mhm.
opportunities, who knows? Maybe
Mhm.
you guys do real estate and we work on. You never know what you can do together with somebody. So that's why it's so important. Not just because you might have work with them, but just to treat everybody kindly in the right way because you just never know. Like, you just why wouldn't you? I don't think they're trying to be rude or anything, but like, yeah, they just really they're never gonna hear from me again after I leave. That's for sure.
Yeah, the most important thing is just like you need to have, like, they need to have compassion. Like, I feel like when they see you as foreigner, like, oh, foreigner, he has money, you know, we're just gonna take advantage of it. It's like not come from the place of feeling compassion. Even, they probably know your situation. I mean, they should have more compassion toward you.
Right. I had to
And
fight.
that
I had to
surprised
fight
me
for
that.
the money side of it. You know, like I told, like I didn't want to be paying in dollars. A lot of people want to do that here, which is really annoying. I don't know if the government allows it or not, but it really weakens the give when you got all these contracts that are in foreign currency. And it's super annoying because then that means like who wants to sign a contract where you have a fluctuating rental price? Of course not. You want the same price every month in your rental contract, right? But they kept on trying to be like, this month the rent's this much, this month the rent's this much. I'm like, look, we're not doing that. Like, the rent is whatever it is in Kiev. I'm not giving you dollars. They try to want me to pay them in
So
dollars, and then they were
weird.
trying to do this game of like whatever the rate is that day is what I'm paying for. No,
Mm.
like the rent is what the rent is. Like, you're not getting like I'm not getting my wages adjusted for every time the dollar and things go up. And now why are you going to get your rent like that? Like, come on, silly
I
stuff.
think this is the rare situation that you would find, somebody's like that here. Like, this is the first case that I've heard of, like, such a trouble with somebody's
They
who
lucked out.
try
They got
to.
somebody very patient. They lucked out. I wouldn't consider myself usually that patient of a person, but like obviously I'm really I want to build something long term here, so I'm not trying to cause any sort of trouble. You know, just yeah. I'm not trying to make any enemies, especially not my first year.
Yeah,
But for like,
yeah.
if it wasn't my first year and everything, like I'm settled in, then yeah, I would have probably just been like, here's the money and got out of the contract and got away from the situation because everybody else is like, you should leave there because these are the type of people. There's always more situations that come up, and it's yeah, been like that, you know. So anyhow, I
Yeah.
haven't had
Did you
confiances. I
answer
have many
Uncle
back.
John's questions, or?
Yeah, which ones? We answered all of his questions, but yeah, he said stay away from those people, bad experiences. Yeah, yeah, there's good and bad people everywhere, so we're all good though. But I think we should probably wrap this up. It's been 3 hours, and I'm now ranting about my landlords instead of positive things about Lao.
Well, you have to get it out of your system.
It's
You
just so
said it,
confusing.
and now it's out of your.
It
Just like
confuses you.
be like your therapist. Your therapist. Right, Kel.
Mhm.
Like, what do you do when you go to the therapist? You just, right?
Vent it
You just
out.
rant.
Yep.
Vent it out.
That's the only way. Otherwise, you keep everything in yourself, then you will not be able
Mhm.
to sleep. You just stress out. When you ram it
Right.
out, you just you feel better, and that's the way it is. And that's why you have friends for. They're there to listen to you.
And you're still too young to have problems sleeping. You should
Mm.
sleep 12 hours. My husband still sleep Gee, 24 hours.
Yeah,
No, I still
let's
sleep.
get together soon, and I would talk to, I mean, yeah, let's talk on the back door, and
Sure.
yeah, would figure something out, you know.
Sounds
So you
good.
guys gonna go to Treehouse Cafe?
Not until you come.
Oh,
Well, verified out. Where's the tree house? I, I mean, yeah, sure.
how about
I
you go
can
check it out
make a
first?
contact there.
I want to check it out because it's one of those things where I think too many people always tell me that there's nothing to do in Vientiane. Like how many foreigners have you met that come through here that are like Vientiane? Well, I can't believe
What?
I spent a few days here. There's nothing here
There's nothing
all the
to do.
time.
There's a
There's
lot to
nothing to
do.
do. It's a boring city. It's a quiet city, and I'm like, "Did- yeah, if you like, it's not Thailand, and you like so there's just nothing online. Like, there's no way to find out where these things are. You got to be plugged in a bit here. So there's plenty of
Yeah,
cool stuff to do.
Yeah,
But
and sometimes when you ask people, ask around, they don't know. Even locals, even Laos people
yeah,
that live there, they don't know.
you got to find other
yeah,
local people that actually get out and do stuff. So, like, a lot of people just go about your life. Like even lately, like I haven't done a whole lot in the last couple of days besides YouTube in front of my computer. So you know, you get out when you
Even
can.
even Takek, like it's such a small town. When like they open a new restaurant or a new store, and I ask people if they know where it is, they're like, "No, we don't know." Like, huh? How you not know? You should know everything. You live here.
yeah. Yeah, I'm guilty for that, right? But there's so many cafe here in VNG, and I can
Yeah,
go so much. I only choose to go to the cafe that I like, and I would
right.
most of the cafe they serve very similar food, right? If it's not like specific cuisine like Mexican or
Mhm.
Italian, then most of the coffee shop or coffee cafe just they serve coffee, they serve um big what is it, the pastries and stuff. But
Right.
so like for me it's like, okay, like fine. You got so many cafes, new cafes all the time. But yeah, if there's something interesting like a farm, like a tree house cafe, then that, yeah, it sounds interesting, and I think like I would check that out for sure.
What
It's a
about
place.
Naked Cafe? Why they call it Naked Cafe?
Yeah, I don't know that
Oh,
one.
the actually the I'm not sure why they named that, but the I know the owner because I work in the at the embassy, and the owner actually like his wife is Thai, and this
Mm,
guy he basically went to study in Australia and learn to be a barista. So he learned to be a barista, and I think like he learned about food as well,
mhm.
culinary or something like that. That's what they call. And he came back and he just like opened his first restaurant, Naked Espresso. I never asked him. I did talk to him a few times because he came in and submitted the application and stuff. But yeah, but there's many locations now. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes something for him. Yeah, at first,
Yeah,
it's only one location.
they have
Yeah,
one in
now
one
he,
here,
he
and even in
yeah,
Sawanakhet. There's they
yeah,
open a restaurant in
yeah,
Sawanakhet.
yeah,
I
yeah.
just wonder
The
where the
husband
name come
now,
from. Naked Express. Naked Express.
yeah,
I think.
maybe he's more I think like he's more specialized in the coffee. Like I think that I'm not sure like how do you a girl coffee drinker, or what is the different the coffee from Naked Espresso and Joma.
Pretty similar. I don't see any different.
Yeah,
I think this
but
place would be interesting because if it's really on the riverside, a treehouse, and there's something I'd go see. I don't. I don't see myself doing a lot of coffee shops because it's not a place
You're
I
not a
usually hang out.
coffee. Oh, you're not a
Yeah,
coffee
Yeah.
I'm
drinker.
not a coffee drinker.
Mm.
Everything's a lot more expensive in there than I can get out in the streets.
I'm a
Yeah.
So,
coffee drinker.
no, I got plenty of
Lao coffee
energy.
is good.
Coffee makes me
It's good too.
too much energy.
Yeah.
All
I
right,
think
let's
I
wrap.
started drinking
All
coffee
right.
when I was like 5 years old.
My stomach is telling me I need some food.
Okay. I can't believe we've been on for 3 hours.
I know. Thank you, everybody, for joining in, and everybody that is watching afterwards. I appreciate all of you. Thank you to Laikao and Sao King for joining us again today.
Yeah, it seems like a lot of people
Thank you
are
for
tuning
having
in
us.
after.
I think people must be watching after. Yeah,
Hmm.
which is good. It's good. Let's. I think it's a nice place for people to see a regular conversation. A lot of times you just see the YouTube videos, and it's a little bit different, right?
Hmm.
All
And
right.
congratulations on your subscriber number before we going. I think like
Yeah, it's
you're
What?
getting close to 500 soon. I think like
it's
No.
moving
by
fast.
Let me
this
see.
week, yeah, by this week you probably get to 500. And then you
So,
register your location as the US, right, Barry?
yeah, I think so. Pretty sure.
Yeah, so when I think like when you get to the 500, you will be able to do more things in your channel.
Really?
You'll be able to have super thing, like the people who want to support
Yeah,
you. Or
fun.
there's
During the
other
live
other
stream, people can throw you
other functions.
stickers.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was pretty shocked after that was it that the second video. I was like, let's see. Was it the first cooking video that I went over 300? I don't know. But anyway, when I was at 300 something, I was like, I wonder if we can get to 400. And it was like, that video went to 1,000 quick and went over 400. And well, I kind of know when people are watching, right? Like from about or our time, like this morning, from about 6 a.m. to 12 noon is when everybody watches my videos. So it's definitely people back home.
Oh,
And
that's when
yeah,
they get
Yeah,
out work
people
and
from
they're
yeah.
home at dinner times and stuff.
So my videos will have like a few views, like 100 or 200 from the rest of the time, and then 6 to 12 is like 1,000, 800,000, and my subscribers just
yeah.
like boop, 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 and I'm like, yeah, let's get to that monetized point. But my viewing time is still so low. So
Yeah.
just keep producing. I think
Well, that's why
500.
Gail said.
Awesome.
Gail said that you need to do the live stream that
Mm,
will earn you the hour quicker than people just watch the video, because most of the time people will just watch like what, less than 5 6 7 minutes of your video
yeah,
averagely. So you need on the live stream because it's keep people engaged
yeah.
in the conversation, and you'll get that hours quickly.
Somehow I gotta become that YouTuber that people just put on your videos and let them go in the
Let it
background.
run. Just leave it on.
Soon, very soon.
Soon. No, truthfully though, like
Never.
I feel like I have lots of videos that if it was other YouTubers that are bigger, like they'd have 40K views on these type of videos. So I know I just have that feeling that like it's gonna come in like big spurts, like yesterday or whatever, where it was like 300, then jumped up to 400. Like I'm sure that there's going to be a point
Mhm.
where the algorithm grabs my channel, and then it's going to shoot up to thousands of views, and it'll be shocking because yeah, right now I think that yeah, they're what I want, and I watched a lot of other YouTubers like this style, like the first person point of view, and it's just a matter of time to get the people watching because hey, if you're interested in
Wait,
Lao,
they
like
are watching now.
they are watching. I wonder how many people I'm losing with not having subtitles, but hey, it'll all happen in time, right?
Yeah.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll go. Let you
You
go
too.
eat.
I'm starving.
Uh-huh.
Talk to you
Thank you
soon.
for having us, and we'll talk to you soon. Be in
See you
touch.
guys. See everybody. Thanks for joining.
Mhm.
Have a good day.